welcome back. It is your host, the boys of DigiPod, the digital podcast. It's Gino to my, I think, left this time, probably. I don't know. We'll see when post edit. We got Gino and just myself. No guests today. It's just us two for the day. Just the two of us. If anyone knows that song. Anyways, how are you today, Gino?
Doing all right. It's just the DGU2.
And you.
DGU2 and you. Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm doing good.
Right,
how you doing
exactly.
tonight, Dan?
I'm doing good. I felt a little sick, so kind of went home early today. Like imagine if you had like when you have the flu and you have like the body aches and pains, but without the flu part. That's how I was feeling all day. I felt really crappy, so I went home early, took a nap, and then like woke up and I felt a little bit better. Ate more food, and I don't know if I feel better, but I can still feel like that weirdness to it. I don't know. Very strange. Very weird way to wake up when you're not even like sick.
Yeah. Hopefully it
Maybe I'm
doesn't
dying.
mean that something's coming on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This could be
maybe
the
I'm
last
just dying.
episode of podcast.
Yeah. Sorry,
it'll
guys.
be just me next time. Just me.
Yeah. Barney's gonna be forcibly have to come out of retirement for the Digipod, right? Oh,
nah, he won't.
Yeah, right. But anyways, locals talk. You want to start it off with us today?
Sure. We had a 5-person locals, right? 5?
Yeah. Funny 5 rounds.
Oh yeah, it was
funny 3 rounds.
Funny 3 rounds, yeah. So I didn't know what I was gonna play. I knew I wanted to play something fun, not something like super sweaty or really good or anything. So my choices were between Ghosts, Examon, and DM version 5. All fun decks for me. I think they all have their strengths sometimes, right? But they're not winning any major events, right? So round 1 I ended up getting the bye. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go eat some Indian food, and then once I got my belly full, I'll pick my deck.
You've been getting buys a lot lately, like surprisingly.
I know, what's up with that? Yeah, it's crazy. We've been having 5 a lot is I think the problem. Yeah. Because most of the time one of the guys we play with, he works at the shop and he rolls into tournament because his shift ends like right when tournament starts, and he almost always has the bye, and it's like kind of a running joke that like, oh, look who's got the bye again. Exactly. I wonder how that happened, right? But I've had like 2 buys in the last month, which is crazy. The round 1 bye, because I don't get a bye any other round, if you know what I'm saying.
You did. Was it last week? Was it last week or the week prior where you got like a 3rd round bye, some shit like that, or a 2nd round?
I don't remember. It might have been last week. No, 2 weeks ago. The last time I got Indian food.
Yeah,
because that's my go-to. If I get the bye, I go get Indian food. So I ate my Indian food. It was delicious. And some garlic naan. Wonderful stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I decided I'm gonna play Examon. And Examon is really fun. When it pops off, it feels like one of the strongest decks in the game.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't pop off very often is the problem.
It's one of those decks where like when you don't pop off, it feels like a tier 500 deck, but when you pop off, it feels like, damn, this is like the strongest deck ever.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly. There's no in between. The deck is not like anywhere in between. It's like I'm either this sucks and my hand is just Examon and 5s or 6s, or I'm gonna pop off turn 3 and goodbye to your whole board, and it can't do anything, and if you don't remove this, I'm gonna do a million things next turn. It's cool. I love Examon. Plus he's just a very, very cool Digimon design. His whole line is really cool.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Put in the comments right now whether you are a blue Core-Dramon, Wing-Dramon, Slayer-Dramon fan, or a green Core-Dramon, Ground-Dramon, Break-Dramon fan. Okay, representing the green guys over here. All right, I love Break-Dramon. I love a Digimon that looks like a piece of construction equipment. All right, that's just my thing. All right, but so round 1 I had the bye. Then round 2 I played a really cool deck. Dan also played against this deck. Is playing Purple Puppets. So it's purple like Dog Engine and then Kaguyamon on the top, and then you run a bunch of the Sistermons, either the decoy one to get you draw, or the one that stuns, or the one that gives you memory. I mean, there's a lot of very, very good Sistermons And since they do so much drawing and trashing, it's very easy for them to A, get into their pieces, and B, set up the Sistermon Cielo Awakened, which can be very annoying because they can stun you almost every turn then.
And then almost always recover too as well.
Right. There's like a weird ruling with that where if they use Kaguya's end of turn to play a Sistermon and then Evo into Awakened, they won't get the recover that turn. But you're likely stunned and can't deal with that body anyway, so it'll just recover at the end of your turn instead. But either way, very cool deck. Game 1, I had the nuts. The Examon felt like the best deck in the game, and I popped off. I did 3 big old checks. And then when he answered me, it ended up partitioning. And then I just went into another Examon and popped off again. Very quick. Round 2, I bricked. And it was just bad. Or game 2, I should say. Game 2, I just bricked. And it was bad. I didn't do anything all game. And then game 3, we both bricked. And I remember Dan was already done with his match at this point, and he's like peeking around the table to see what both of our hands are, and they're both just complete and total ass. Like my opening hand was like Searcher, I think it was Searcher Rookie, Regular Rookie, and then like Examon X, and like a 5 or a 6. And I'm like, oh, I can draw out of this, and I just kept drawing Examons like back to back to back. And then eventually I did find it, and he just stayed bricking the whole game, and I just got him down once I got an Examon out. Oh, that actually, game 2, I didn't completely brick. I remember game 2, I ended up, there was a point where I could have won the game. He had, I think, double Kaguya on the board at this point, and the only Examon I could find was Examon Ace, which tries to bottom deck the highest level Digimon, and then Kaguya just protects itself and kills me.
Yeah.
And I honestly didn't even have another play, so it was like, I do this or I lose, so I might as well at least do this. It was, I do this or I lose, but also I just lose, so I just did it, and I overflowed 5, and I didn't even have a full 5 to give him. Like, I had to like pay 7 for my play or some shit. It was a mess.
Sounds about right.
Yep. And then game 3, I played against Dan. Dan is playing Machine Dramon. Yeah, the second I sat down, I was like, I lost. Because Machine Dramon's very fast, very efficient these days, especially purple base. So it was just like, unless I high roll both games that I win, then it's just not happening, Chief. And game 1, was game 1 the one that I won, or did I win game 2?
No, you won game 2.
Okay, so game 1, you did the Machine Dramon thing. I didn't really get established very well. Or I think I got an Examon out, but you were able to DDG and deal with it.
Yeah, you did. Yep.
Cause DDG very strong. It has always been Examon's weakness. There's nothing Examon can do against DDG. So I was saying we need a Liberator Tamer. When you DNA into Examon, suspend him. He's immune to DDG for a turn. Okay. Anyway.
There's immune to Digimon effects in general.
Ooh, okay, yeah. You know what? How about all opponents' effects?
they ain't never give us Digimon specific usually nowadays. So it's always just Digimon effects in general.
True. Yeah, sure. I'll take the whole rondo of it. Let me get an immune Examon for a turn. Nah, that'd be nasty. Okay, so game 2, Dan only found his rookies.
The most funniest thing ever. Like, I'm not. I guess I can talk about it more later, but like, it's so funny when most decks you want to see a whole bunch of rookies because you want to get there. When you play Machinimon, you want to see a couple, and then that's it. You don't want to see every single one.
That was the game 2 where he raised an Uko, got his search, and then played Analog Man. And I ended up just going into a big Examon turn, passing like 6 or something. And I ended up removing both the Uko and the Analog Man, and now he no longer has a black source, so he can't do Supreme Connections, he can't do Ultimate Connections, he can't attack at a heavy unless he has enough memory to play a machine and keep turn with it.
The funniest part about that hand at that moment legitimate, my whole hand was black options.
I was like, if I remove this analog man, I might just win, and that's exactly what happened. I got rid of analog man. He had no black source, and I just rolled into a win after that. And then game 3 was so bad I had to play Xmon for 15. That should tell you everything you need to know.
You tried to, I think, and I was like, wait, you told me you don't have a more efficient way, and then you're like, well, I could just do it this way. I'm still giving you like 6 or 7. I was like, just do it that way, and then see if I had the answer. I had the answer, but still.
Right. Oh yeah, I think I ended up doing Slayer for 12, and then Evo for 1. So it's like a 2 memory. It was 2 memory cheaper. Something like that. I don't know. But it's Examon. It's not. Sometimes it pops off, but if you play as anything of like at least 1 tier higher, you're just gonna get bodied.
You could, yeah.
And Machine Dramon's in a pretty good space right now, I think. So at least purple base is. So
I think all of Machine is in general.
DM's good, but I feel like it's just a little bit slower.
Oh, okay, in that sense, sure, yeah.
How'd your locals go, Dan? Did you win?
Yeah, I did. Spoiler from Agena, I played Machinimon purple base. Machinimon is like top 5 all-time favorite deck of mine, and it was just fun to bring it out again. I think legitimate. Last time I played it was my regional top. I haven't touched it since then. So
really?
That was like October or something like that. Yeah, because it's one of those things where it's like, hey, I did what I needed to do, and I want to play other things and like switch things up or whatever. I know I always have that in the back pocket type of thing. Like if all my testing fails for Nats, and I see that what I was gonna play doesn't work, Machine is a good fallback for me. Like I know all the plays inside and out. I know how to deal with most of the meta with it. Like I've also adjusted the deck because I had updated. Funny. So last week, we have a gap of pod for anyone that's realizing that, because pods are going back out at this point again consistently. There's a gap, so y'all don't know. Last week, quick side note, I left the Machinimon at home and had to play something else, and I ended up like not doing well. And I had updated Machinimon for what I would think would need to be in a Hudie format. Obviously, no one really plays Hudie in our locals too much, besides like 3 people, and they don't always play it. And so it's still a matter of fact that I know there was DP next, Sakuya's around, so like I adjusted it for that.
Sakuya's really popular at our locals right now too.
Exactly. And so I brought it this week, and it worked perfectly fine. Again, like mentioned, purple base, so you know you get your Ukos. For me, I run the Fasco mons, like I've mentioned before. I think for me is the best version, the best purple rookie you could play. Like Taper is whatever, like it's just a draw 1 on delete, cool, whatever. But I like the extra draw 1 trash when you get out of it, especially.
What happened?
Someone has crazy loud speakers outside. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, and it's vibrating my house.
Jeez.
Anyways, so what was I saying? Yeah, so like I prefer the Fasco, especially when you get to the point of the game where like you need to trash your low 5s a lot, and for me, I get to that point, and that's why I like it. So it's like, all right, cool, draw 1, trash 1, cool. Now I can pitch this, and I got the names for assembly and whatnot. And so yeah, so doing machine things. Round 1, I play against the Puppet Kaguya, Dark Engine Kaguya, which is interesting. I don't know if he played against you, but he didn't play any protoforms, which was very interesting to me because protoform would have made his plays more efficient.
Now that you mention it, I don't think I saw a protoform. Especially
if you're skipping, like he's going full like Dober X and then Serb X. Like sometimes when you don't have, the duel, then you have the protoforms to get to, cheaper cost. And when that Kaguya stack dies, you get back whatever purple dog engine piece that you need or something. Like, interesting he didn't run it, but I don't know. Again, maybe he had him and we just didn't see him. I don't know. Possible. But yeah,
you got to make space for all the sisters and stuff. Maybe you just don't have space.
That's probably what it is. Yeah. So I won that one 2-0. Like at first when I saw it, I was like, all right, cool. He's playing a dog engine dot deck. So I figured maybe he was playing the Mastermon because it's a yellow card. I know he likes yellow stuff.
That's true.
Or I was like, maybe Levi, who knows? Like, has he fallen into the grace of purple? I don't know. We'll see. But then he went to the Kaguya. I was like, oh, okay, that's cute. Sure. Oh, 2 checks with that. All right, whatever. What do you do when DigiPod this? What do you do when you're going against the unkillable machine? You know,
right? And you just drop that. It's not like they're stunning it, because you just drop it and you probably kill them the turn you drop it.
Yep. Game 1, I had like a funny misplay. Some reason in my head, like I had to attack the heavy in my hand, and like I forgot to play to like swing for 2 checks or whatever. At that point, I wasn't killing whatever stack was going on, but I just forgot to play, and I was like, oh, that was a misplay. Cool. And then next turn I did it, and then I ended up having double machine, and then I won because of that. So like it wasn't like that bad in hindsight, whatever. Game 2, I just steamrolled. He ended up getting like double Kaguya on board, and I was just like, I knew I don't know if you saw it against him, but he had blast mode ace. So I was like,
I saw it in his hand,
you have this
over his shoulder when I was watching your match.
I was like, I know you have it. It doesn't do anything to me, but I'm gonna make sure you can't think you could do it. So like, I was able to DJ off his Kaguyas, and then I just swung out and went for game. Chaos X. No, I didn't even go for game. So the machine ended up crashing into a Kaguya when I had no DP boost.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Made me go into a super stack of a Chaos Dramon and then Chaos X, and I had like 20 sources, like every something like crazy. It was really
insane. I looked over. It was, whew, boy.
Yeah, had every single inherit whatever you want. And it was just great. I was like, this is beautiful. I was like, what can you do, buddy? I know you can't do much, unfortunately, especially in that deck. So, right. And then winning 2-0. Round 2, I played against Dinos. Won that one 2-0. Game 1, he decides to raise without an ultimate, and I'm just like,
classic.
He's always does this. He's the definition of I believe in the harder cards. Like, I swear to God.
Surely I'll draw. That will be written on his gravestone.
Like, I just be like, so I think I gave him like 4 or 5. It might have been 4 because of analog mans, most likely. And he raises his Tyrannomon. I'm like, all right, cool. I guess and then he goes Tyranno X. I'm like, all right, cool. He's about to go, Metal Tyranno, because we know his deck list. He's gonna go into the good Metal Tyranno, or he's gonna go into the bad one, or a Metal X, whatever.
Right.
And then not do anything else because he had no Ryotaro. And so I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. He plays Agu X, grabs a piece from trash or something like that, and then evos into a Galleon, Anyways, the promo Tyrannomon that's for DM.
Yeah.
Does really not much. And then he goes into another Tyranno X, and then he goes, oh, I didn't draw until low 5. I'm like,
then what are you doing, champ?
All right. You telling me you had no boost in your hand, you didn't have no like tamer to play. Like, what's up?
Oh my God.
He swings and lives. I was like, all right, like it was because the Tyranno boost, and then Tyranno X is a little stronger. So I think it's like a solid like 10k or something like that.
Sure, yeah, it can be.
Gets into it, whatever. I think he evos into Metal Tyranno X at that point. I was like, because he, I guess drew it after somehow. I don't remember what it was.
Maybe off Koromon egg.
Something. I don't know what it was. I'm like, all right, cool. Delete it. What else is he gonna do there? And then like I just OTK'd him. And then game 2 he went into, maybe at game 2 it was the one he went to Metal Tyranno X. And then I OTK'd him, got rid of his board. I was surprised he didn't surprised that I didn't catch the this is ridiculous, Machinemon's too broken spiel, but he was actually very calm with it.
No, I gotta tell you a story about his other round. This was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, round 1
against the Korea.
That was funny.
Oh my God. So the board state is he has a body, and the opponent has a maid mode and a token, and the maid mode's suspended. So he goes, okay, I'm gonna play medieval for 7 by suspending your token and my body, and then I'm going to oh, he had another body as well, and then I'm going to swing Alliance into maid mode. Okay, had no protection, none of that, and it had no protection at all. It didn't have barrier either. There's no mandala in security. And he goes and he does all this stuff, and this was poor playermanship of me but to say this, but I was like, I'm surprised you didn't just pop it with Medieval's effect. And he goes, oh yeah, it's because I'm stupid. And like,
I remember that. Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, whatever. And then it gets better.
He gets aced.
The Sakuya player goes, all right, I'm gonna go into Sakuya Ace, make this token and block. And he goes, oh wait, I didn't use my Medieval effect, so I'll suspend your token and delete your Ace because I haven't used the effect yet. And I'm like, man, if I never reminded him of that, he would never have used that effect.
Yeah, no,
the Sakuya player ended up winning at the end of the match anyway.
No,
they tied actually.
They tied.
They tied, and they ended up just rolling dice for it.
Technically losing.
But that was just the funniest thing. I was like, oh no, I shouldn't have said anything.
So funny. But that's not you're in the right play, because at that moment he lose. Oh no, he doesn't lose it, because he plays the blocker token. So funny. Oh my
so
God.
Funny.
So dumb. But anyways, that's great. Anyways, so that was the person I played in round 2, and in round 3 you played against Gina, like I mentioned before. Game 1, I saw a whole bunch of Ukos, and I saw everything I needed in my hand, I believe it was, and then ended up winning. And then game 2, all rookies, black options and tamer, and he popped the tamer. And like, mind you, it's not a bad hand when it comes to like, all right, sure, I will go analog man, get the Uko. Yep. Next turn, I'm gonna be dropping all these options, specifically Supreme Connection, right? Then he goes pops the analog man. I was like, no, I don't have no other analog man at all to like play. So then that turn, because he ended up giving me like, I think it was like a solid like 8 memory, right?
Somewhere between like 6 and 8. Yeah.
It was really high, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to like get there eventually. My play ended up being hard job OG machine Digimon for 12, gain 2 memory back to go to 0, and then attack it heavy.
Me somehow.
No, not that turn, because that's the one I crashed.
Oh, right. I forgot about the crash. Yeah.
So it was the EX1.
Yeah, because you had the die pen and the Jet Sylphie under, so we were both 15.
So the 2 worst inheritables that you want, but they're really good in these situations. Like you always want the
like
plus
this
2K,
situation.
It's not the one that you want to see all the time. But best believe in this situation, it worked out perfectly. So I go attack it heavy. So my hand was bad because it was all options, and it was all like 1 Chaos Dramon, 1 Chaos X, 1 Machine Dramon, and then that EX1 machine. And I just kept drawing into like rookies, because the Uko search was like double rookie and then like an option or something. I remember it was something stupid. I was like, all right, no 5, cool. And these, mind you, by the time I got to that point, the 2 5s I drew was a die pen and the Jet Sylphie. So I was like, all right, EX machine, attack it heavy. I drop a Chaos X, unfortunately, or Chaos Dramon for it. I crashed into his EXamon, and then I protect the machine Digimon. So I'm like, all right, I think I'm in an all right position at this point, because I got rid of it. And I ended up playing Supreme Connection. Supreme Connection found me nothing. I think I grabbed
it was like 5 black options.
It was something stupid. Like I might have been able to grab or trash a cyborg or like a machine Digimon, something like that. And then I was hoping I could get this machine Digimon to last until I could find another Chaos Digimon or Chaos X. Couldn't get there, and then he ended up killing. And like, it was surprising, a little back and forth at that point, because that machine Digimon stuck around a little longer than expected, especially with no protection.
I did end up removing it.
Yeah, you did. You did end up removing it with the Exa, but unfortunately, by the time you did get it, I still couldn't find like a Chaos Digimon or something. And then by the time it was over, because I couldn't do much after that. And then game 3. You got the Examon early because you did 2-3 checks, something like that. But it was plenty of memory that you gave me, and then I still had like an analog man on board.
You had all your setup too.
Rookies, yeah, I had Uko or whatever, I ended up drawing to double ultimate connection, like back to back off the draw, something like that. And then I was like, all right, cool. Ultimate connection. Let's go to like 6 memory, 7 memory, 8 memory, and then pop off. And so, and then I DigiGuard off his stack just in case he had an ace in his hand. I DigiGuard off it again because he had the ultimate underneath, and then went to the champion, and then OTK from that point, and then that was it for that one. Ended up taking it, and my goddamn packs. I didn't pull a goddamn Betamon X. This is becoming the bane of my existence. We got 2 sets of these tournament packs, and I got these goddamn app tamers that I don't care about.
I got my boy. I got 4 copies of my boy. I need to get 4 more because I don't know if I want to. It's so hard though, man, because I want to. Obviously, I want to run it in Giga C, but I also kind of want to run it in Deep Savers / Aegistramon because it's very good in that too. Like, Aegistramon is already hard to remove, so imagine if it had a layer or 2 of protection on top of it.
Stupid.
Yeah.
When you think about it like that, yep.
For sure. Plus, you know, you could just say, okay, play Madoki Betamon for 4, or I'm sorry, Betamon X for 4, tuck it under Aegistramon, remove your level 7, because Aegistramon has Seedramon in its text, so all of its effects work with it. So, yeah, pretty crazy. I think I might play that for our locals tomorrow if I end up going to that one.
We'll see in the time, because they shafted me last time. And
I think they're going to move it, because they moved it back an hour before. And actually, that was last week. I could talk about that.
That was last week.
I could talk about that locals real quick. What deck did I even play? Oh, I was playing my patented KFC Jessmon list. Real quick, we'll talk about this one, because it was only 2 rounds. And I played against Sakuya, and I played against Galaxy. So I played Galaxy first and then Sakuya. My maybe one day I'll show this list. Still thinking about maybe taking it to Nats, but it can turn to you with the perfect hand. The idea is that you play the bird engine. So Biomon, Birdramon, Garudamon, specifically Adventure Garudamon, because Adventure Garudamon gives on-play security attack +1. And then you play, obviously, Jessmon, and the Sistermon Blanc that lets you warp so that you can go into Omni X and get your additional swing. So the play is raise Biomon. So it's turn 0, you would go Biomon and then either Wings of Love or just play Sora. You swing, you do 1 chip damage. Sora effect, you play Birdramon. You're at 3 memory because you're at B, or you have Sora, right? You Evo into Garuda for 3. Garuda gains Sec +1. And by the way, has Alliance as inherit. You go Jessmon for 4. Jessmon has Alliance on his face. He summons Sistermon Blanc. You swing, you Alliance with Blanc. You make yourself another token. Blanc Evos it into Omni X. You do 4 checks and then you win. But the only problem with the deck is that is all it does. It does not do anything else, but it can do it very fast. And I mean, there are some other plays you can definitely do with it. But like that's your only removal generally is you can remove like rookies and stuff with the Birdramon, and then you can remove you remove big stuff with Omni, but that costs, you know, a butt ton of memory. So very cool deck, very fun idea. Try to throw something together. It's very funny, and I think it could do something, but you got a high roll. You do got a high roll. Me and Dan tested it a whole bunch, and it was actually putting in work. So
yeah, it hasn't.
We'll see. I did end up winning that locals, by the way. But that's kind of like our casual locals. All the players are like pretty casual players or relatively new to the game. So if Dan and I show up, we end up winning.
They got non-casual decks, some of them, though. That's the funny part, because I think
they're always playing Galaxies, Sakuya, Hoodie, Jessmon.
Right, it's so funny. But you know, it is what it is. Well, anyways, main topic. What we're going to talk about today, Gino? What are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about how me and Dan are going to be table 1 on the last round of Nationals.
Day Sunday. Day Sunday.
Exactly.
Oh my god. Where we are? Create is it? Yeah. You love it. You love it. Everybody loves tier list. This is your BT24 Nats tier list episode. The definitive BT24 Nats tier list. We're gonna talk about what we think is going to be in the meta, especially when it comes to Nats. And we're going to give our maybe we'll give a little preview of what we think is going to win it. Maybe some biases on our end, but we'll see. We've been, Gino and I, we've been in the lab. So
true.
When we talk about these decks, it's not just like we're guessing. We're probably like, yeah, this is probably going to be it. And maybe a little higher or lower in some of these decks, but we've been in the lab testing basically BT24 format since like December. So we kind of got a little handle on what we think is going to be good, what's going to not be good, and whatnot. And so we're going to begin. We're going to start with the evil butterfly, Digimon. We already know Digimon, meta fighting. When we talk about Digimon, this is encompassing all versions of it. This is the super aggro, the control version, whatever you want to call it, mid-range, yada, yada, yada. And definitely meta-defining.
If it runs 4 copy of the butterfly, that's what deck
you know it's good. Exactly.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter what it is. You know you love it. It's going to be in Nats all over the place probably.
For sure. Basically
3 months, I think it's about 3 months or 2 months of BT24, whatever it is. This is gonna be the show, right? You gotta kind of have your deck formatted around playing against Digimon.
Exactly. If you're gonna go to Nats, you need to ask your deck, what is my out, or how do I play around Digimon? And if your answer is not a very good one, then you really need to either rethink your deck choice or rethink some of the tools in it. Because Digimon's going to be everywhere. It's going to still be very good when BT24 comes out, and you just got to be ready for it if you're playing at nationals.
Yeah, definitely. I forgot to mention our tiers. Meta defining real quick. Let's batch our meta defining.
Yeah, let's talk about our tiers.
We're meta defining. We're not going to go by the standard tier 1, tier 1.5, tier 2, yada yada. Meta defining what we consider the best decks in the room. Definitely. So it's gonna be like 5-6 decks maybe. Meta contender decks that are not necessarily the best decks in the room, but they can definitely contend and potentially win for sure. Rogue power dependent, more of like the bottom, like let's say it was considered like tier 2-ish decks maybe, or some of them that's more like power dependent. And we're gonna talk about by the time this comes out, like Beelzemon, right? We talk about Beelzemon. I think that's considered
always,
more rogue power dependent deck. Local legend, it's a deck that you might see like in a regional, like in that regional format. Maybe you see one of it top. You bring it into your locals, call it a day. And then we got waiting room. Any deck that's ass right now that's just chilling. Who knows if they're gonna get support or whatnot. We got a couple of those that I threw in there just for the shits and giggles, kind of, and just because they came out within the last like 3-4 sets or whatever. So that's why we have them. And back to Digimon. You already know, right? This card is dumb, right? So it is what it is. We're gonna move on because who cares about talking about Digimon at this point? We know
if you don't know what Digimon does at this point, then maybe this isn't the best part for you to jump in.
Exactly. I'm gonna grab another obvious one because why not? Royal Knights. Royal Knights, as in anything that's Royal Knights, Tax Knights, whatever you want to call it.
If it runs 4 copies of Yggdrasil, this is what we're talking about.
Yiggy, Cool Boy, Omekamons, and Omniacs. Call it a day as Royal Knights.
Yeah.
Meta defining. I don't know much else that we need to say about it as well. Even with the hit of Purge, it's still considered a top deck. It's because it's also a good counter to Digimon as well, being able to slow them down. And so that's why you see it. So again, look at your deck. Can your deck answer these as well? Like you gotta think about that matchup as well.
For sure. Royal Knights is such almost an evergreen deck at this point. Like
sure is.
It wins against a lot of stuff. It has a lot of tools at its disposal, and you can almost guarantee that like every other set, it will get at least 1 or 2 new toys that it can use.
100%. Like it never fails. Ben, you gotta do something about this deck again. Unfortunately,
there's 13 of those royal guys, and
it's dumb.
Yeah, we're always gonna see more of them.
That's for sure. We're gonna talk about a little start. We're just gonna go down the line now. Some of the new decks. This is right here. This is what the what you call Marukimon. So it's like the
Central Town.
So Central Town. I forget what the text is. The trait for the deck currently is
Iliad. Iliad and Time.
Iliad. So Iliad. This is the encompassing. This is gonna be like the Minerva / Maruki / like you see that TS slop deck that's walking around. This Sylphie nonsense where you can like OTK fast or whatever. When we see Maruki, that's what we're talking about. What do you think this deck is at?
So there are like 2 decks on here that we have not tested with yet from BT24, and this is one of them. So we're not 100% sure yet, but I think it's pretty good. I think it could I think it could surprise you. I would put it in I don't know if it's meta contender or not. It might be. I think that middle tier is where it goes. I think
we'll put it in rogue pilot.
We'll put it in rogue pilot. I don't think it's a pilot thing. I think it's a rogue thing. Like I said, we haven't tested this one yet, but the fact that you can get into Sylphimon really fast, do a couple chips, the tools are all really good. Between the option card and Hiroko is crazy in this deck. Is you just play your dudes out for super cheap and then DNA. Honestly, Hiroko is such a cool. It comes from
design card.
It comes from Yugo, basically, right? This is Yugo's thing. Yugo is such a cool designed card where I'm gonna get a quick search and then I'm gonna bottom deck it to play something for cheap. And holy cow, using it for a DNA deck is very good. That's why you're starting to see some builds of Hoodie that are just running Yugos and no Keisuke, because I'm just going to use Yugo to play my rookie out for 1 and then go Hoodie from there. Or I'll play my other level 4 that I need to DNA. This whole bottom deck my Tamer to play a DNA target for cheap is really cool, and I think it's a cool design space.
Yeah, for sure. I think by the end of like BT24, we're gonna see this deck be more like considered meta contender, because I think it has the speed of today's game's top decks, being able to have the potential. Not saying it's gonna happen all the time, because people, you say you can kill turn 2, people freak out about it. It's not guaranteed, but this deck has the potential of doing it. Basically what it is, I think it's like you Evo Sal in the back, you play the Tamer, you get your boost out, your following turn you raise a Sal, you Evo into like the Gato, play something else, DNA, you do like 2 checks off the Sylphie. I think there's an unsuspend in there, you swing again, and then Marukimon helps you close out the game, something like that. I don't remember the combo verbatim at the moment, but I know you could do some shenanigans like that, and that's how you win the game. It's really strong, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a meta contender spot, but for right now, I think rogue pilot dependent. I don't think people are going to bring this to Nats as high as like the higher tiers for sure.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I think this deck needs probably more testing than the others.
Yeah.
Next we got is the new support, Starakomon. Yeah, we've been testing this deck out, and this deck is
kind of fire.
This card, I think this is a meta contender. This card is
too.
Strong as AF. Oh my god, this thing is
mean.
Keyword soup. You're trashing security. You're trashing whatever security your opponent puts in it. Basically, you can OTK from 4. It's very magnetic Dramon-esque in that sense. I don't know. This man, I wouldn't be surprised if I see this in like top 16. That's how strong it is.
I could definitely see that. I think I said this before. Me and Dan have been testing this a lot. This is one of the ones that I printed boxes for because I'm very excited for this deck. I think it's really cool. It feels like it can do everything Magnetic does, just a little bit worse and a little bit different. Like the deck is very similar. It's gonna OTK you from 4, from rookie probably, or from your level 4, like out of nowhere. but it gets the benefit of being able to run stuff like Crimson Blaze, which is excellent into both meta-defining decks we have up there so far. It has the ability to bottom deck stuff when it deletes it, thus eliminating on deletion effects, which is huge. The new Medusamon is really, really good. And the rest of the tools, it has protection that kills the opponent's guys. It has other protections that bounce things back to your hand so you can prevent your stuff from getting deleted or removed. Styraco is really good. Medusa is really good. The new Lamia is really good because it facilitates the whole rest of the deck. It's very memory efficient. You're going to gain 1 to 2 memory per turn. The deck's really fun. Like I said, I think it's almost as good as Magnetic, but not quite. It's going to be really exciting to see what fun text people put in. I'm already thinking about a couple myself. It's one of the decks I'm thinking about taking to Nats, but I don't know. It's not as consistent as my number 1 choice.
Yeah, it's I think it's definitely strong for sure, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does well in this format. Next we got is another Time Stranger deck. This is the Neptune. This is what people are calling it Blue TS. Basically, this is the Neptune / Venusmon deck.
Abyss.
This deck is cool. This deck is strong. I think this deck is a meta contender in my opinion.
You think it's that? You think it's that good? You think it's that high?
I think so.
I hope so.
I
hope so. I want to try it.
So here's the thing, right? I've been playtesting a little bit of it, and I've seen a lot of it, and I've watched some gameplay of it. The fantastic part about it is the combo of doing Pluto plus Venus, which is very easily done for the deck. Kind of just tells your opponent no, almost to an extent. Cool thing about Plutomon is that if your opponent has a wide board, you go, Neptune. I played it for cheap. Neptune, sorry.
Wrong planet.
You played, you played Neptunemon for free. Not for free, but for cheaper.
Right.
And you go, can you deal with this? And if it's just so happen their ways of dealing with is DigiGuard, they're kind of like SOL. And so, I don't know, man. I think this is a strong deck.
The deck is super cool.
I think so too. And a Venusmon just tells your opponent's Digimon to have like less sources no as well. And it's strong. It's there, you get there easily. It's not hard to get into. Diver and Shellmon synergize really well.
And with the Whalemon, you can make your board go crazy wide. And it's even though the deck, if you look at each individual card of the deck, it kind of is like, how am I going to get Shellmon and Divermon on the field at the same time so that I can really pop off and ping pong? It's not as hard as you think it is. With the Whalemon, you literally Evo Divermon and then use Divers to tuck Whalemon, and then you spit Shellmon out off of your attack, and now you're set up. It's very cool deck. I'm very excited to build this. I'm sad that I didn't print the proxies sooner, because I would love to play with this deck a little bit. Very, very cool deck. I hope it's a meta contender. I think it's still on Maruki level because I think the rest of what does Neptunemon do to Hoodiemon? Hoodie's just gonna melt it with DP neg. Royal Knights can do the same thing to it. It's another deck that's susceptible to Crimson Blaze, which every red deck is going to be playing.
Sure.
We'll see. I hope you're right. I hope it is a meta contender. But for me, I'm going to err on the side of caution. So viewer, you can decide whether you think it's a meta contender or a rogue tier.
Next deck we got is your boy. I forget what it's called.
My boy.
This is the
Orumon. That's my police.
Orumon. That's
my Digipolice. That's a meta-defining deck. You better watch out for it. Okay, it's gonna kick you. No, okay. It's a locals. It's a locals warrior deck. It can do some very fun stuff. No, I don't think so.
All right, locals.
I don't
just
think
in the waiting room again.
It's waiting forever.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe it could be a meta pilot.
It does cool things.
It does do some cool things. Orumon is a very strong card, but it's asking you to get into it from Ryudomon so that you're protected, or get into it with the Hisaryu and don't get de-digivolved. Orumon is a very strong card because it says, hey, if anything suspends, I de-digivolve either turn. And if I'm immune to effects for a turn, that really just locks your opponent out for a turn.
Yeah.
But it still has a little bit of anti-synergy with the old stuff, and sometimes you still want to see the old stuff. I am a Shu Yulin and Ryudamon enjoyer. I love both of those guys more than anything. So I've tried the version that's just all Hisarumons, all Ginryumons, all Ryudamons. And it's okay. It can pop off and kill you sometimes out of nowhere, surprisingly. But I think it might still be better with some of the old police stuff, running Brigade instead, for example. I think this could be a really cool top end in regular D-Brigade, but we'll see. I don't know. For me, I think it's a Locals Warrior deck. I will definitely be taking it to Locals, and I will probably win a Locals with it because that's just what happens sometimes. I am the Locals legend, okay? That's my tier. They call me God Hand Gino at the shop. That's not a joke.
For a reason. Yeah.
But I don't think it's doing anything into the meta, realistically.
Yeah, unfortunately I agreed. Again, we've been playing testing it, and again, does cool things. You get a little warp here and there, you get some protection here and there. Orumon just does things, but doesn't do enough, it feels like. Sometimes it's relying on your opponent having a board to do things, and if they don't, then it's like
just green problems.
Nothing. And then they raise and then kill you or something like that, right? So it's like whatever. Yep. Local legend it is. These next two has been
near and dear to your heart.
Surprisingly, with the second one, I didn't expect to find it to be as fun as I have been. Diaborma is what we're going to talk about now, and waiting room.
He's trying to talk it down.
Wow. This deck is terrible. This deck is trash. The new support doesn't do anything. We need on-play Diabormons. It's terrible.
Listen, the amount of times that this guy has bodied me with this deck, he is gassing you up right now. This is at the very least a meta contending deck. Dan, I'll let you explain it because, I mean, we could both, but you love the deck, so go for it.
Let me preface this real quick. This is a meta-defining strength. I don't think it's going to be meta-defining, though. This deck is cracked.
That's fair.
In my opinion.
I think so, too.
Kara X and Diaborma X did so much for this deck, it's not even funny. This has, again, when I say this, take it loosely. Don't think it's forbidden. It's going to happen every single time. This has turned to kill now in the deck. Obviously, you need to have the perfect setup, and you need to have the perfect hand, and your opponent needs to give you a certain amount of memory to be able to do that. But you can turn to Diaborma consistently with the bare minimum of nothing on board, with just a Kara X in the back. With 2 memory, you can get to any of the Diabormas you want, and now you tell your opponent, can you deal with this? Can you deal with the potential trap that I'm about to set for you? No, I can win next turn. Very easily, that can happen. If you have, a Kara X, and then a training, all you need is 1 memory, and you go into Diabormon turn 2. It's fantastic. The Kara X sped up the deck so much to the point that those strong cards that they are of Diabormon and Inframons, it makes them feel stronger because you can get there so much more faster now, right? And then you have Diabor X. Diabor X is a combo piece and a closer all in one. The fact that you're able to go Diabor X, and it's a removal piece. That's three things it is, right?
It does a lot.
You go Diabor X, you go, I'm gonna digivolve something by a lot and kill something that's very strong. That's 1, right? And potentially board wipe, depending on what the situation on your opponent's board. It's just the highest play cost. That's all it is. So if you have 4 5s, that's the same exact play cost. All of them are dead, right? Diabormon lets you spit out your other Diabormon. So imagine playing tokens, but with an effect, right? That's basically like, you got to think about it like that, right? You're playing your Diabormons, but now your Diabormon tokens are now your regular Diabormons will have effects, and you just kind of like snowball down the effects, and it gets to the point where it's too overwhelming for your opponent. Unless they got a Crimson Blaze, call it a day, at the perfect time, then like whatever, it is what it is. This deck has a great matchup into Hudimon, in my opinion, from playtesting. Why does it have a good Hudi matchup? 1, you have an Inframon that gives you DP neg protection. 2, that means if that stack is DP immune, they have to kill your Diaborama tokens. And what does that mean? That means you snowball effect.
You triggered my trap card.
Exactly. You kill the tokens, you go play a token, and now I'm gonna kill something on your board, basically. Diaborama X is a 13k blocker. The highest when it's a speed build is 12k, most times. That's the average. Like that's what you're gonna see most times or not is 12k. So that means, you know, having a blocker is strong, boom, done, right? There's so many outs for Digimon in this deck that it helps in this matchup. It has a good matchup to Royal Knights because you can just bum rush them with a bunch of tokens.
Because it's fast, man. It's fast,
very fast. And the thing is, these tokens are also level 6 Digimon. So that means if they're like level reliant and they like, you know, small levels, it doesn't matter. They're also high play costs as well. They're 14 play costs. So that means you get like pseudo protection if it's still like highest play cost is deleted. That means it doesn't kill your regular Diaborama stacks. I could keep going. You have Armageddon that tells Omni X no when they evo from the Omegamon. There's just so much things you can do in this deck. It has a good matchup to Gala now because of Diabora X being able to spit out body, play your Diaboras. Now your Diabora, they have to kill your tokens, which means you can kill their stack going on. Like there's a lot of things you could do. We haven't put Galamon up there, but I'm just saying that's something up there. And it's just really good into the meta. Downside, Crimson Blaze. if you know how to navigate that, you better know how to navigate that.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're SOL basically. When it comes to that.
One thing that can't be understated is how good the draw is for the deck now with Kara X, because your egg is always going to get you a draw right away. So you're basically drawing 2 whenever you start your turn, as long as you have Kara X out. Like there's a lot you can do. The deck is very consistent now and very fast. So
speaking of the draw, since you mentioned that, right? Just think about this real quick, right? Let's say you go turn 1, you go Kara Evo, that's a draw. Kara X, that's a draw. On your following turn, right? You draw, that's 3. You raise the Kara X, you play your token, and then you go play a token. Inheritable, you're gonna play the CS Sumimon. That's a 4 draw. Just off of Kara X, a little small Kara X in the back. That's 4 draws right there. Mind you, with nothing else that you're talking about, and that's really good too.
For sure. And yeah, I mean, you can do the silly thing of playing Armageddon from turn as soon as you raise, which is very funny. The deck's very good. Expect to see it. I think even people who aren't Dan will play this deck because it's very strong.
I agree. They should. If
should.
They know, if they've been playing it for a minute and they see the potential the deck has, they definitely can and should.
For sure.
Next stack, Creepymon X. Creepymon got a whole bunch of support in BT24. They got a whole line. So they got a new Devi that's a searcher. They got a Viomon that has a really cool effect of when moving on Evo. You trash a card and your opponent has to choose either to trash a card or mill 2. So it puts them in a predicament, and it makes that Viomon be able to be used in not just Creepymon deck, but Barbamon as well. So that's pretty cool synergy that has. And also, it's all turns. I think it's when your opponent has 10 more cards in their trash, you gain plus 2k and you're a blocker. So it's like the throwback to the OG Viomon blockers. Pretty cool. You get a new Skull Sata that allows you to play a low 4 lower evil type Digimon, whatever it is. And then Creepy X. Creepy X is cracked, right?
Creepy X go crazy.
Creepy X allows you to evo from trash if your opponent has 10 or more for free on your Creepymon when attacking. It's on evo, you pop highest or lowest, whatever it is, and then for every 10 cards in your opponent's trash, you get to play up to you play 4 costs and you add another 4 for every 10 from your trash. So basically you play anything. At that point, it's
typically 8 to 12 at the point you're into Creepy.
8, you can play a Skull Sata, you can play maybe a mix of a champion and a rookie or something, get some search going. You can do a lot of things. You get really wide, doing 2 checks at a time. Mill, you got the option that lets you kill the highest level, or if you don't, you mill 3 on your opponent. Does really cool things. With that being said, I don't think Creepmon is still that strong of a deck.
Really?
I think it's a rogue. So? I think it's a rogue pilot dependent deck. The mill's not. It's not like you can't like. So you have a bunch of things to mill, right? And you're doing only 2 checks at a time. Sure, you can control board, but if your opponent knows how to play against this and understands how to like navigate the memory situation, it doesn't matter what they do, in my opinion. And Creepy X, in my opinion, is worse than Creepymon, only in the sense of if this thing gets deleted, you get no effects. At least when Creepmon gets deleted, you can potentially mill or kill something. And so it puts you in this weird situation where it's like, do I really want to go Creepy X, or do I want to lose my Creepmon on delete effect? And so it's in this weird spot. There's no protection, obviously, in the deck. The one good thing about it is we got the promo card. That promo reads like a cracked card, reads like a
Flame Inferno.
Flame Inferno is stupid. You kill your opponent, kill one of yours, give Creepymon, play Creepymon for free. You give it a Russian blocker, and then Creepymon in turn states you can attack. So you can do all the Creepymon shenanigans. And that's where it's cool. When you can do off of that, you can like, now that's when you can like potentially like go crazy, like mill a lot potentially. But like, I don't think it's going to be like that crazy.
I don't know. If I don't know. I think it's very strong. It can really really mess with you. If we're gonna keep it in Rogue Pilot, I think it's the top right now. I think it might be better than those other 2 decks, realistically.
Sure.
It's very mean. You're at 10 cards in trash as on one line, and if you decide to run like the TS Demi Devi, you can do it very efficiently. The only thing he can't evo into is Vilemon. And since you run so many Devimons, and honestly, you probably want to see Devimon most of the time anyway, it's like...
Yeah, EX10 Devimon is cracked, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Great card. Excellent card. So it's like... I don't know, man. I think it's very good. I feel like it could be a meta contender, but I'll err on the side of caution with you.
But again, so the cool thing about it, right, in that one line, so this is where you get to the 10 easily. It goes, let's say you go Demi Devi, you raise a Demi Devi. It doesn't even have to be the mill one, right? You go Devimon, level 2, the level 4, sorry, mill 2. Go Skull Sada, mill 3. If your opponent has no board, Creepymon, mill 5 of your opponent. Now you have the 10 threshold, and if you have everything in trash already or whatever, then you can like, you know, do things. Which is cool. But the thing is, Creepmon is a 4-cost evo as well, so that kind of like hurts a little. There's no like 3 black box text for 3 to make it a little cheaper.
Sure.
Potentially like mem choke or something like that, if you need to. I don't know. I really like the deck, don't get me wrong. I think it's a really strong deck. I just don't think it's strong enough to be considered like meta-define and meta contender. Like, what does it do against Hudi? I feel like Hudi would just melt the whole deck and call it a day. You do have blockers, so that's a thing.
It's not faster than Hoodie is the problem, I guess.
Skull Sada, the moment they have 10, Skull Sada can pop a Hudimon, which is a thing. Pretty good. I don't know. That's why I think it's still a rogue pilot, because I just don't know. Like, from the testing I've been seeing and playing against it and playing with it, it feels very like, man, it feels very glass windowy in a sense. Like, if you keep choking them, like, they just can't do much, because it's really just that one line to push everything else to happen.
Right. I don't know.
Next deck. Yeah. Next deck we got is the new Appmon deck. This is the Hackmon line. What do you think, Gino? You're the Appmon guy over here.
I would love to put it in meta contender, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it goes in Rogue Pilot. Honestly, I think it's better than Local Legend. This is, I think, the best Appmon deck so far. The problem is it suffers from every other Appmon deck problem, where you basically need twice as many things to do your thing. This one has a lot of recursion and can do a lot of damage very quickly. I haven't tested a ton with it, but the tamer is cracked, the option card is cracked, the boss monster is cracked. We'll see if someone can throw it together. I hope they can. That's what I got for you.
Here's my thing for all Aphmon decks. I feel like they always read really well, but then when they come out, it's like
just
like, all right, whatever. Speaking of Aphmons, we're gonna have an Aphmon segment right here and just and throw them all out the window. What we have, but yeah, I think it's arguably the best one. With Gaiamon probably.
Yeah,
and then that's it. Aphmons, we got Poseidon. Poseidon is probably the second or third, like below both of them. I think even local legend maybe. Probably waiting room because
I think it was better than Gaiamon. I think it was better than Gaiamon until we got the new Dogach.
Yeah, the new Dogach is a really good card. Poseidon, like, again, here's the thing with Aphmon decks. You play them the first time, you play against them the first time, you're like, oh damn, this is strong. But then you realize, oh, I know how to play it against this. They all have a gimmick where it's like, once you figure out how that deck works, it's like, all right, cool, I could play around this. My deck can play around this and call it a day. I don't know. I think it's even worse than local legend, but I'll put a local legend for now, for that aspect. And we have, where are they? I can't see it at the moment.
Is it Gaiamon?
There's Gaiamon right here.
All right, you found him.
We have Gaiamon. Yep. And I have the other one, Deusmon, as well. Gaiamon, again, because it got the Dogach, and then now it got the new promo hero.
Oh, the new Haru.
Whatever his name is. Haru, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Ash consistency. Dogach is really cool. It does things that you kind of needed from the beginning, it feels like. To be able to pop off more. You probably can talk more about it than I can.
Sure.
I think it's the best or second best Aphmon deck now.
It depends. I'm gassing up the Revivemon deck a little bit because I think it's very cool. But I think realistically, maybe Gaiamon is a little bit better just because it's very easy now to just let your Dogach do all your work for you. The new one is really great. It lets you link basically for free on attack, which means you can trigger all of your effects. And let me tell you, when you have all of the correct cards in play, it feels fantastic. It's like, oh, cool, I'm going to swing. I'm going to activate this card. I'm going to tap my Tamer. I'm going to free Evo. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But the more we talk about them, the more I want to drop them all to local legend.
I agree.
we can drop them to local legend because if you compare them to something like Beelzemon, for instance, I think Beelzemon is a lot better
Cooks
deck. Yeah.
Cooks him.
So
honestly, I want to just put him over here.
Rude. They can win locals. Come on.
Yeah, sure. And the final Aphmon deck is we have the Deusmon somewhere around here.
My man's didn't even put Oranosmon on here. That's how bad you know that deck is.
Oh, no. Oranos is trash.
That's how bad you know that deck is.
So I didn't even... Again, for anyone that's realizing what we got in this heal is about like what's been more relevant the last couple sets, including like older decks and decks that's been around a little bit. Deusmon came out EX10, so I figured I'd throw it in there with the other Aphmons. Deusmon feels like the worst one, in my opinion, out of all of them because the way it works feels worse than the others, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, I just don't see any value in the deck in the sense of me playing it, at least. No disrespect to anyone who loves Aphmon decks. It's just like, once you learn the gimmick, how to play against it, it's whatever. Like, they trash their links to get their effects and pop off. If you get Deusmon now,
Deusmon's strong
card, but doesn't do anything at the same time, right? Like, it doesn't like necessarily win you the game. It's very weird in that aspect.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Aphmon is the redheaded stepchild of Digimon, so
yeah, but it's definitely one of those things where it's like it's 2 cards away from being broken. Like, that's how it feels. Like, especially Gaiamon, right? Like, imagine to get something that lets you like link anything or whatever. It doesn't. You don't have to like meet name requirements. You just keep linking some nonsense. I don't know. I can imagine that one day it'll get a lot stronger for that aspect.
I can see it.
But anyways, next deck we got Atmon section done now. We ain't gonna talk about no more Atmons. Is you see Digimon. This is really heavy Meldramon support. I've been playing against it a little bit. Deck still lasts.
Yep, 100%.
We're gonna put it in the waiting room. Digimon is cool. So the cool thing about Digimon, you can like loop Chaos Gallon and Digimon, the OG Chaos Gallon, because of the way like Digimon and Chaos Gallon work. You can kind of like kill Digimon effect. You evil from trash. You kill it. Chaos Gallon comes out. You Chaos Gallon I think plays your 4 or 5. I think it's the 5, and then you could go into another Digimon after, because Digimon is like a not once per turn
trash. Yep.
And a turn effect. So like if you're able to keep turn, like you just cool things. But besides that, it's still heavy Meldramon. Heavy Meldramon states not heavy metal, heavy metal Dramon. Yeah. Until EX11, deck is ass still. Guilmon's a good searcher. Everything about it is cool. Deck's still terrible. EX11 waiting room at the moment, and even then, who knows if it will still be good. But the new Punkmon, when that comes out, really good card.
Very good card.
Same with the Tamer. So you're able.
The Yuki's very solid too.
Punkmon into your 6 for not free but pretty cheap.
How long have I been saying that we needed like a Tamer or a starter main effect that let you grab cards back from trash if your hand is 4 or less, and they gave it to us finally. So finally
you can grab your aces when you need it. Like if you need ace of one, like you do a lot of things with it. Pretty cool.
For sure. A lot of the Liberator decks you're gonna see in that waiting room.
Right now, it ain't it cheap. That's
for sure.
Next, we got probably the 2 most hyped decks of BT24. We got the Titans and we got Jupitermon. We'll talk about Titans first since it's right there. This is a tough one for me, honestly. I think it's anywhere between Meta Contender and Rogue Pilot dependent.
I think so too. 100%.
The level 7 Taita Bellucci, I call him Taita Bellucci, is no effect on that card, reads once a turn. So if you're able to play him out multiple times in the same turn, you can. It's really cool. Card is cracked. The way you can kind of get up to your Titamon plays is really cool, where you basically go to an some Ogremon, you swing with the Ogremon, you use an effect to trash a card. You go Goblet Inheritable, Evo into your 5 for cheaper. That effect will trash a card. You Evo into the Titamon. It has to be the Titamon you trash. Cheaper. And then you go to Titamon, you trash some cards, suspend things, pop, whatever, play bodies. And then you can eventually get into the big boy and then do like, 3 checks, right? Really cool. Downside of the deck, you kind of have to give your opponent memory, especially for some of the effects.
Yeah, some of the effects, it's like give a minimum of 5 memory. It's like that.
Yeah. And if you're doing that, it's kind of tough. I don't know if the Dark Animal engine is as good or better than what the deck encompasses basically in the whole set itself. I don't think it will be, but there's a chance it could.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the deck is pretty strong. I think it could do some crazy stuff out of nowhere. I think it's going to be a very pilot dependent deck. You got to know when to push that 5+ memory
pop off. Yep.
Or to just try and choke and settle with a smaller play but a more memory efficient one. Really cool deck.
It's definitely one of those decks where like you do your 2 or 3 checks depending if you have the second tap +1 and alliance, where you go, all right, I did 2 to 3 checks, can you deal with my board, because now I just win next turn. And if you can't, then you're probably winning, which is pretty cool, I think.
I think so too.
And that's been one of the things we've been playing this a lot. Definitely a fun deck though, for sure. Jupitermon is next. This deck is interesting. This deck feels
it's
like
ass.
New.
It's hot ass. It goes in waiting room. I need my new Aegyokusmon. It's ass. Okay. Hype called off. Canceled. Okay. I'm just messing. Like the deck is not that bad.
This deck feels like it's the new. I mean,
Kazuchi. It's Kazuchimon. It's Kazuchimon like, all over again.
But it's like new Yellow Vaccine when Yellow Vaccine was good. That's what it feels like.
It can do everything for free, and when it does, it feels like, oh baby. But like,
if you're able to get the promo, and you have everything for the deck, this deck feels like it's anywhere between maybe bottom end meta defining into Rogue Pilot. I'm not sure yet. That's the problem. When you do the pop off with if you do the pop off with Homeros plus Jupitermon, you're doing like 4 checks, I think, in that one turn. It's super strong. And you go, can you deal with this? No, I win.
Right.
You've been playing this a lot more than I have, so you can probably explain it more than I can.
Yep, it's ass. The problem with the deck right now is that I did print the proxies, but I did not print promo Aegyokus, and that is so important for the deck. Without promo Aegyokus, you got to run some out of archetype level 5, or like you could run like what's his face, Sylphimon, or you could run like an Angelmon Ace. I've tried both; they're both not very good for the deck.
Hey, you could play the promo that people are hyping it up with.
Wait, what promo? Oh, the Boutmon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Venus Lock is not a meme, by the way. It can, if you run old Venus with Homeros, you can do some very mean things to your opponent. If they can't out Venusmon, you can just lock them out of the game forever. It's cool, man. It does some cool things. And when you have the line, it feels real good. You do everything for really cheap or free. And you end on Jupitermon. I like to call it Jupitermon because that's how they say it in Japanese. Yeah, Jupitermon's great. It's a cool deck. I say it's a Rogue Pilot deck because I'm not good at it, and so that must mean it's not very good. No, that must mean that, like I said, I think it's waiting room, honestly, because you need the promo, and we know the next set is going to be the second half of the Time Stranger story. So when we get those cards, I think the deck is going to be insane. So I'm going to tell you right now, make sure you buy all of the cards for this deck if you have even a fleeting interest in it, because the second the next set comes out and we get like Wrath Mode and some of the other Aegyokuses, probably, I'm sure we will. Yep. So make sure you grab this stuff now when it's cheap, right on release day, because that stuff is going to skyrocket when we start getting reveals for 25.
Yeah. I think for Nats, at least, I think we're definitely going to see a rerun. That's why I think it's like,
you think
close to meta. Yeah, I think people are running it for
Are people going to have promo Aegyokus?
Potentially. I don't know.
Okay.
But people could cope on Batman. I don't know. Maybe. So I think it's gonna be at least Rogue Pilot dependent for Nats for sure. So that's basically everything for BT24. There's probably like small niche things there's a couple small niche things that we'll talk about that are in it, that are like smaller support cards for like older decks. We'll get there eventually. Next we got is Jesmon. Jesmon is the GOAT. This card is dumb. You just win. That's what it says. Meta defining. It's definitely all jokes aside, is meta defining or meta contender. I think I'm gonna put it in bottom meta defining. People hate this deck. People love and hate this deck because of what you can do. You can win
very divisive deck
very fast, or you could throw in the Gankumon. I also threw in Gankumon separately, the Turtle Ganku, because it feels like a different deck than Jesmon. You know all about it. This is how you got your Nats invite, if you want to talk more about it.
Yeah, so Jesmon is nutty. One of the big problems when you sit down across from a Jesmon player is that you won't know if they're playing Ganku or punch you in the face version, and so you have to kind of be ready for either. And if you're not, then they're just going to kill you.
You'll basically know probably within the first couple of searches, most likely.
Right. It chips you for 1 to 2 damage and then kills you from 3 if it's the Omni version, and if it's the Ganku version, it just goes really wide. sets up an annoyingly immune board and says, deal with this. Also, I might ace you. I love this deck. It's so flexible now that we have Warp Huckmon. Your opponent is never safe from the Jesmon menace, thanks to the fact that you can just warp. Like, oh, they just have a rookie in the back.
Jesmon can warp. It's not that.
Yeah.
Huckmon does. Yeah.
Right. Warp Jesmon on a Huckmon. Yeah. So having a Huckmon in the back is threatening Jesmon or a big other turn. So it's like, it's really strong. It's really fast. It can turn to you if you get all the pieces. But it's good, man. It just has really good crackback, which is important in this meta. It has board presence. It can run Crimson Blaze, which matches up into other decks very well. And hey, being immune to Digimon effects has never been bad in this game. So
agreed. Yeah.
It's always swinging at 20k minimum. Like, it's tough to deal with for some decks for sure. Yeah, I think it's a very simple but effective deck, and that's why I love it.
Agreed. 100%. Love me some good old Jesmon, even though I'm not currently playing it. Used to play a lot of it back in the day. Next deck we got is
not the bees.
You and I are gonna be on different ends on this aspect. Bees, Tiger Vespa, OTK, whatever you want to call it. I think this deck is trash.
Wow, I don't think it's that bad.
I have zero faith in bees. And I know we got some hardcore bee lovers, especially in our own Discord. And we know Gino likes the bees as well.
I like the bees.
No faith in them.
Problem is, everybody likes the bees. So everybody's playing bees, and I'm like, I don't want to play bees until everybody's put bees down. Bees, realistically, it goes in waiting room because it's about to get more pieces. But I think it's top of local legends tier. I think it definitely wins locals. I've won locals with it.
Yeah.
But if you OTK with it, like,
there you go. That's your hope and
sometimes
dreams.
You do OTK, and sometimes your opponent didn't chip you fast enough, and you just pop off on it.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Yep.
I've lost to this deck because I could not.
If you're slow out the gates and they're not.
Yeah.
Yoko.
Yep. And then they go Final Zubagon Punch because they saw everything, and all they need is 3 cards to flip down and GG's.
Yep. You love it. It's honestly so much fun to play.
Even with that being said, you're probably gonna see like if it's like 200 players at Nats, you're gonna see like 2 people playing the deck.
Like, you might see it round 1 or round 2.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah, it's not at the power level at any deck above it.
Nope, not at all. The only reason I put it for apps because apps are just as bad.
True.
And arguably against Orymon as well. Examon,
my boy, local legend, dude. How about just put him in waiting room because we're waiting forever for good support. No, no, he's a local legend.
No, I agree. It's whatever. Like, Examon is cool. Like, we talked about it in the locals section, so we don't want to talk too much about it.
Yeah.
Examon, if you see everything, this deck feels like a meta-defining deck. You know, you're doing 3 checks, you suspend anything, you can pop an option, pop a tamer, kill Digimon, and then you tell your opponent, can you deal with this? And if they can't, you just win. Basically what it is. The issue is find those pieces because you need a lot of pieces to make it efficient. Or you're doing it for like 7 and you're giving your opponent anywhere between like 6 to 10 memory, you know?
Right.
That's the issue with the deck.
Yep. Honestly, enough said. If you skipped to this portion of the pod, go listen to locals. We talked to them a lot more about it. So,
yeah, basically. Next we got is Ghosties.
My ghosts.
The only reason why this deck is up here is because it got supported in BT24, I think it was. Waiting room.
Put it in the waiting room.
It's trash. It's terrible. Don't listen to anyone that says this deck is good. You can do cool little things with XQ and stuff and gain some memory and do things, but then that's it. This deck is getting support in EX11, so if you're a Ghost fanatic, you're gonna get legitimately good EX11 support out of it. Does it make it go from waiting room to like meta contender? No, I don't think it will. It might be a rogue pilot dependent deck by that point. But the support is really good, I think, and we'll see when the time comes.
For sure.
That's all I got.
Yep. No,
you want to add anything to it?
It weirdly has a good matchup into Hoodie because they kill your level 5 and then you play Bakemon, which kills their Hoodiemon, which is very funny. Okay, maybe not a good matchup into Hoodie, but an interesting interaction into Hoodie. Let's put it that way.
You have a chance to survive.
you got a chance. You can take a game, and then they'll never make that mistake again.
Man.
I love Ghosts.
So funny.
I can't wait for EX11. Next.
I wanted to love him because I thought it was so cool, but I just
it is cool.
I couldn't waste my time to play it.
I'm so afraid that when EX11 comes out, it's going to be the same thing that happened the last time it got support. I looked at the cards and said, "Oh, this deck's going to be really good now. It finally got the pieces it needs." And then it was still ass. And now it's going to happen again next set, probably. So watch.
Yeah. Next we got is Belfi, the boy support obviously in BT22. This deck got really good, plus the promo Fasco. This deck is interesting. You can OTK someone from 5, I think it is.
You can OTK them from
full
6.
Combo. Yeah, when you do full combo, you can OTK from 5. The problem is, again, with this deck, can you get there fast enough versus in today's game? I think this is a rogue pilot dependent deck. I think it's better than a local legend style deck. I think you will have a chance. You will see this. And if you do see it, just know that person grinded that deck and he's been cooking it since day one.
100%.
He's been labbing in. He knows his weird little text for the format, because the cool thing about this deck is you can play like one-off text that will help in matchups.
For sure. Yeah, I love Belfamon. I'm glad that we're on the same page. I think it goes in the same spot. I think it's a rogue deck, and a really good pilot, I think, could do something with it. A lot of decks in this format are, here's my big board, or here's my boss monster that's immune, and if you don't deal with it next turn or don't have an answer when it's my turn again, you're gonna get it. And Belfamon is no exception to that rule. The new combo with Errata is insane. I have stolen games from people from full security with them not even knowing what was happening. It's a very fun deck to play. Again, it's definitely a rogue or a pilot dependent deck. You got to know that deck inside and out. And if you see that boy at top tables, you better be scared.
Yeah, 100%. Deck is definitely good for sure, in my opinion.
I think so too.
Next we got 2 decks. So we got 2. I put 2 Masties here on purpose. One is going to symbolize general Mastimon decks, so CS and regular Masty. And then the other one is going to be the Dark Animal Engine version, because I think people are actually playing it and are testing it from what I've heard. That's the only reason why I put it up there. Mastimon is a strong deck. This deck is weird though. Very strong, but very bricky at times too. Like, it's from what I've seen and I played against in testing as well. I feel like people, like, they play against it and they get cooked and they think it's the greatest deck ever. But then if you versus someone who was like, all right, you did your thing, but like, I don't care, then they probably feel like it's like lower, right? I think this deck is somewhere in the meta contender side, but the bottom of meta defining. CS Mastimon go crazy. Like, you can go into the Mastimon, get them down to 3. You can cycle down with the Palmons or whatever, DNA again, swing, like after you swing and stuff, and like keep playing your Lady Devi and Angel Wilmons and just loop, or play Godomons, Evo for 1 with the Godomon effect, DNA, do a lot of shenanigans. You have promo Masty as well, to get rid of your opponent's tamers, or use your own stuff to recover, which is pretty cool. And so yeah, and then regular Masty, same concept, except you're more regular Masty is more focused on, like, I think like Patamon, doing the Patamon Evo to the God from your security, and then like go that route instead of like Palmon and like all that stuff. with the cycles. I think it's just a really good deck. You gotta watch out for it.
I agree. I wouldn't put it in meta defining, but I would definitely put it in meta contender. The deck, I think every version of it. I'm surprised you put it on here twice, because I think if it's a Mastamon deck, it's gonna do roughly the same thing, just in a different way. The regular like pure Masty is very strong. It is so efficient at getting into Masty really cheap now. Now that you have like the CS Angelomon Lady Devies that can play for 3 is really good. Just another tool to have in your pocket. The yellow vaccine Masty is also very strong version of the deck. CS version, again, you could just loop an OTK. And there's so many good Masties now, and you may even, the worst part is that you might still have to worry about Mastamon Ace, because they might still be on 1 or 2 copies of it.
You just never know.
Exactly. You're never safe with that deck. And like,
God forbid they pull like the SP, they're gonna want to use it.
True. And that CS Masty can be difficult to play around, because it's like, oh, if I remove a security, I'm gone. I'm just gone. So it's like, you got to figure it out. I think it's a really good deck right now. I think it's a meta contender, and if anyone is looking for alt-art Mastamons, they should hit me.
Yeah. So the reason why I kept the Dark Animal Engine version separate is because I feel like it's not as consistently good as regular Mastamon. Okay. I feel like
that's fair.
So idea is you go use Dark Animal Engine. You know you're more efficient on the climb up. You can potentially play a Skull Belushi to DNA if you can, or you just hard Evo into the Mastamon, then you get the 3. And then idea is you're using K and Ipmon to kind of like loop, and then to Evo up the climb, and then you get there again. It's really cool. I think anything Dark Animal Engine is weird, because like if it's not Leviathan, like why are you playing it in that sense, right? Like it's Leviathan or bust, it feels like. So that's why I say it feels worse. It feels a little worse than regular Mastamon, in my opinion. That's the only reason I did it. But I know people are testing it for sure. From what I've heard.
Definitely.
Speaking of Leviathan, we'll talk about Leviathan since Dark Animal Engine. Leviathan.
Something about this alligator. I'm sick of looking at it. It's been like 3 years, dude. What is this croc still doing here?
This deck just doesn't die. Again, if you're playing Dark Animal Engine, you play Leviathan basically. This card is just like the Nats eater. Like you don't see the deck ever anymore in like competitions. You see as like a one of. Nats comes around, you know the boy Moment is gonna come through and try to win with it.
Chomp.
The guy from Europe is gonna play, because that's like his main deck as well. Let's put it like this: one Nats. You know.
Yeah.
He got cheated. But he should be the winner. But he's going to Worlds regardless. This deck is so strong. I don't even know where you put it. Like, you know, it's gonna be like 2 people. That's like 5 people playing it. But you know, like it's probably 2 to 5 are top 32 at least. Like, put it
at the top of pilot, because you have to be a good pilot to play this deck well.
Yes, I agree.
Like, the thing is, you're not going to see it enough for it to be a meta contender. I think top of pilot makes sense. It feels low, but at the same time, it can't be a meta contender if it's not in the meta a lot. I don't know. It's hard to say.
It's very hard. Mind you, this ain't a deck that's not like, a top 30 deck. This is a top 10 strength style of deck, right? Like
it's very good.
The strength is there. It just doesn't get played as often. It is what it is. I don't know. It's weird. But Nats is coming around, and people are going to be like,
reliable. Dust off the crock.
Exactly. That's exactly what that is, basically. Great deck still does its thing, and it's going to be one of those decks that's forever around, I think.
Evergreen deck,
Next, I don't know. I don't even know why I put this on, honestly. I did it for those people who love eaters.
That's not eaters, is it?
Waiting room. It is eaters.
Waiting room? There should be a tier below waiting room, and that's where eaters goes. Yeah,
this deck is ass. It's trash. Even with the new support, it doesn't matter. This deck, in my opinion, is still worse than D Reaper, and I hold D Reaper near and dear to my heart. but I was hoping this would be a better version, and it's just not it. Even with the new cool stuff, you could do cool things, but it doesn't matter. You're just way too slow.
Yep,
and that's
100%.
what it is.
If you win as eaters, you don't do it with the intended end game way. You won because
you're winning
swarmed.
with medieval. Yeah,
you're winning with
medieval
or,
Dex and swarming.
Yeah, Legion and Eden, and you swarmed. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Poor eaters. I wanted that deck to be good.
Same. I hoped. I was trying. I was coping. Didn't work. Next, we got an interesting deck in my opinion. Omnimon. Back in BT22, Omnimon was like the what's the word I'm looking for? It's like
the boogeyman, kind of. Yeah.
It felt like it was the boogeyman.
For sure.
And then it started slowly falling off. And then we get to the point where it is a hugely dominated meta. And this deck has kind of just fallen off to the wayside. And I think at this point it is now considered a rogue pilot dependent deck.
Sheesh.
That's how far it's fallen. It feels like. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but people are just not running this deck anymore. It feels like people are like too scared of what the other decks are, even though you can just do shenanigans. You just don't see it anymore. It's crazy.
I've gotten bodied by this deck so much that I want to put it in meta contender. Like,
this meta contender strong. That's
this deck is mean, man. This deck is mean. I don't know why people are off of it. Like sure, it's Hoodiemon, but like, you just do Altaress stuff and win off 2 DNAs. Like, what?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, yeah. I don't know. Like, I get it. It's very it can be very bricky sometimes. And I get that it takes turns of setup that usually requires you setting up multiple tamers that are not the cheapest thing in the world to play. And like, I get it. I believe it's a bottom of meta contender tier, but I understand the fact that it has fallen off so hard that it would be rogue. But
mind you, this is a deck, God forbid, they can, I'm not saying they could turn to you, but if their hand is perfect, that turn 3 is
You're
game.
done.
Excuse me. It's just so strong, but it's just falling off. It's a very weird like ascension and then like decline afterwards.
Yeah, it's weird
too. Next we got is DM decks. We're gonna talk about all at once, might as well. First we got is V2 dot deck. I think all DM decks are minimum rogue pilot dependent.
I think so
V2
too.
is cracked in my opinion.
Definitely the
Vademon
best of the
is
bunch.
a GOAT. Vademon is a GOAT. This card is just dumb as all hell. He has protection. He can remove 4 costs or lower tamers. He has Digivolve. So strong. And then what the cool thing about it is it's very versatile on the top end. So you can go into either Machinedramon, you can go to like Justy Ace, you can go into like Black War Greymon Ace now.
Invisi is a great choice.
Invisi, fantastic choice. Yep. You have a lot of cool top ends you go into. Deck is cracked. Deck is strong. You can kind of slow down Hootie to a point. Sometimes they could just get too fast for you though.
Yeah. And like, I love DM decks. They're like my calling card, so to speak. I think version 2 is the best DM deck right now. Might change depending on the one card we're gonna get in the box topper, which we'll talk about soon.
Yep.
But V2 is not a joke. That it will smack you up, especially if you're a tamer heavy deck, tamer focused deck. As a really good matchup into rocks because of that. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
The DM decks are good. They're all very versatile. You have so many tools. Vademon's the GOAT. What's next?
Bottom contender?
No.
No.
I don't think so. I think it's fallen off. I don't think people are really on it that much anymore, and the people who are not topping with it.
I got you.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, we'll talk about the other ones now.
Sure.
Machinedramon. So this Machinedramon is basically all Machinedramon dot decks. So this is your purple Machinedramon. This is either DM Machinedramon, black based Machinedramon, whatever you want to call it. Bottom meta contender, I think. I think this deck just doesn't go anywhere anymore because The only reason why it might be rogue pilot is because there's not as many people playing it.
Because
but
people
this
don't
deck
play
is
it.
just so strong, and I think it's wrong. If you have machines, you know the deck, you should play it. This deck is cracked. OTK out of nowhere. It's so strong.
And like, machine has the most godlike matchup into Jessamon. Having you can't be redirected and just going around the Genku version is insane. And yeah, like Dan said, the deck can just OTK out of nowhere sometimes. If you high roll and just get all your Sec +1 inherits, like you just kill your opponent from nowhere. Yep. Yeah, and Mega Dramon unsuspend, or you can do the cute combo where you go Mega Dramon, you strip the Mega Dramon after your attack, and then go Chaos to get it back. And there's just man, I'm honestly surprised you didn't split these up, because this is the one I would split up. I think DM Machine is a little weaker.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had it originally and then I switched something out for some reason. I don't know what it is.
I'd say it's on par with the Vademon deck, and that's because a lot of the time they're the same deck.
Sometimes
it's a version 2 machine. So like, enough said.
So the next TM deck, originally I had this as all just generic DM stuff, but because I did V2 separate, we're gonna go with Chimera DM with Millie in the deck, and the idea of it, a Millennium in the deck.
I love this deck.
I think so. Hear me out. Chimeramon's cracked.
Oh,
they got a promo that sped up the deck like crazy in the insane synthetic monster.
Yep.
And then we got the new promo in Millenniumon that doesn't just work for just Millenniumon. This works for all DM decks, and it's cracked as all hell with Chimera when you play Chimeramons out for free and do shenanigans, and you just keep doing things because it's crazy. I don't think people will test it enough for Nats for it to be considered like meta contender or meta defining, but I think it has a strength to be up there.
Yeah, it's good. The thing with DM Chimera is that it can be extremely fast if you find the stuff, and then it's doing 2 checks out of nowhere. You play something that kills it, and now you play another one for very cheap. And I think having the Millenniumon as like the final piece in the puzzle is going to push the deck even further. I'm very excited to get my hand on those Millenniumons and see if I can cook something up, because this is one of my favorite decks in the game.
Yeah, it definitely is. I love playing the Chimeramon version too. Final one is regular composite style Millenniumon. With this card, this makes Millenniumon so much stronger, in my opinion. You could do some cool things where you go into this Millenniumon, and then you go, you do your checks, whatever, you kill it with like the option, and then you can play out your machine and Chimeramon, DNA, keep turn, DNA into an old machine, into the old Millenniumon, keep turn with the memory gain, swing, do two more checks, while you also potentially have like a Zed or a Moon Millie on board as well with it. I think it's super strong. It adds so much to it. Issue is, again, by the time Nats comes around, I don't think people are going to be going crazy about this just yet. The deck needs definitely some work about it, and I know I've been trying to put the work into it, but I just don't think it's there yet. And I'm going to put it in waiting room, not because it's bad, but because EX11, we get a crack tamer.
Oh yeah, that tamer is good.
EX11, we get a composite that's mainly for composite tamer. Basically, you can what is it? It's a trash one, draw one. I mean, it's a trash one, gain a memory, draw one, I think it is. And then like all turns or ending your turn, you can play a Gazi Giza if something dies or whatever. So you can like extend your plays or whatever and gain more search. So I think it's there. If I were to like name it right now, I think it's probably more, I'm gonna lean low to like bottom of rogue or local level, local legend. But right now, because of that support, I'm gonna put it in waiting room.
Okay, that's fair.
Next decks, Shine.
Shine?
I just do.
Why
I just do Shine and just.
What are you
Shine
doing?
was one of my favorites. I don't know.
Shine is one of your favorites.
BT25.
That's why you put
Shine,
it in
I
there.
love Shine.
Oh,
Yeah.
Next deck.
I think it was all jokes aside. It was like one top. It was one top like couple formats ago. You know, waiting room. We got Galactic. Waiting room again.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of crazy how fast that deck fell, because when it was meta relevant, it felt impossible sometimes. It was just very mean, very strong, stealing tops everywhere, and then every deck got faster and everyone learned how to play around it. And now it's kind of fallen off. The new support looks very good for it. The new Galactic is crazy. We'll see. I do think it belongs in waiting room. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of people take it to Nats, but I don't think we're gonna find it at top tables.
Don't think so at all as well. Next we got is Adventure. By this, any Adventure slop deck, so it could be like that green Adventure, it could be regular Adventure. Adventure is a weird deck, right? Because it had like 1 or 2 wins, like actual wins. It might have been just the one, which is the Huang 01, and a couple of tops here and there, and then just fell off the face of the earth, it feels like. Deck is still really good. It's just other things are just as fast, so like people aren't playing it. I want to say it's a rogue pilot dependent deck, but like bottom. But I feels like more local legend now, because just people aren't playing the deck, it feels like.
Yeah, I feel like if I almost want to put it at very bottom of pilot oriented, because I feel like it has a pretty good matchup into Hoodie, because Hoodie is forced to pop your 5s and then you
right
OCU and just get rid of everything on the field. So I feel like it has a good matchup into Hoodie. It's very fast, which makes it good into Royal Knights. And it's a very Swiss Army knife kind of deck. Again, it has kind of the same problem as Galacticmon, where every other deck sped up and it remained the same speed. So, and also it's on the older side now, so people are just not playing it.
Yep, agreed. I forgot to mention this before. I didn't bring it up. I just now noticing. Turtle Ganku. Turtle Ganku should be with Jesmon as well, and up here probably. But I think for me, it feels like a different deck. So that's why I have it separated as a separate contender in the deck.
Interesting.
I would say meta contender. You can just wall the hell up against people, and then you go, I'm gonna build this big ass board that's unkillable. I'm sure I'm gonna give you a lot of memory, but you can't deal with me. But you give your opponent a lot of memory sometimes, and sometimes they can't deal with the board. They probably doesn't do any. It probably like walls up against Hudi, and Hudi goes, I can't really deal with a 13k Ganku X blocker, and sometimes it could be GG from that point.
Right.
I know for a fact there's probably 1 or 2 people are playing it, and they are very good players, and that's their bread and butter. So I would not be surprised at Nats we see it and doing well.
Fair.
Next, I guess we'll talk about the cheating in the room.
Oh yeah, make a new tier. Put 4 cheaters.
Yeah, right. I should, right. Just bottom, put 4 cheaters.
I feel, I feel so bad for actual people who play Imperial Virus, because now there's that stigma just around the deck, even though it is not the deck's fault in the slightest.
Yeah, this deck is meta defining. No, I'm sorry. All jokes aside, I think it's a rogue pilot dependent deck.
Yeah, I think that. I think
like
so too.
it's hard. Here's my issue. I was like, yo, this deck is. Guy went to the finals, and with this deck, like you can do things with it. The deck is very strong. When you see the combo, you're doing a lot of damage. You're telling your opponent no, you can't play things by effects, and if they can't deal with it, you can just go GG, right? Downside is you gotta find your pieces, and sometimes you just don't find the pieces, and that's why it's always been a rogue pilot dependent deck, because of that point, in my opinion.
In a way, it's kind of like a more consistent Examon. Like, I'm gonna build this big monster that's a DNA dude. I'm gonna do a couple checks on the way, and I'm going to put you under some effects that are very annoying for you to deal with. And if you don't deal with me next turn, I'm probably just going to do it again, or I'm going to kill you in some way. Again, yeah, the problem is just finding the pieces. When you can't add them back from your trash to your hand for free, it's tough, you know? It's tough.
Yeah, I agree. Next, we got Blue Green Imperial. I don't know.
Put it right next to Levia. That mother is never going away. It's
gonna be like 5 people in tournament that don't know what to play, and then they're gonna be like, you know what, Imperial, and then somehow they'll go top 32 easy, and it's just because it's Imperial, just high rolling the F out people.
Yep.
Just Blue Imperial doing Blue Imperial things. Last, Digimon.deck Magnamon. This is such an interesting, like, someone should do like a legitimate like documentary on the rise and fall of Magnamon.
Seriously, dude, I would love to see that, a deep dive on the deck, like throughout the past couple metas. Like, this is a very interesting piece of Digimon history.
It sure is. I'm going to put it in Rogue Pilot Dependent deck. I think they are Magnamon lovers who love the deck and love the idea of, I'm a 15k big blocker that's unaffected by all effects. Can you deal with me? The answer is, in today's game, yes. A lot of decks can't deal with it, and some decks can't. I mean, Cutie can't really deal with it, honestly, but they have a lot of different ways to maybe get around it, and so sometimes it doesn't even matter.
Right.
A lot of meta contender decks can just deal with it. Like Diaboromon eats it like cake.
Sure.
Styrako, I'm pretty sure can just go, I'm just gonna rip through your security and call it a day, and it doesn't matter. Mastamon, you just gonna strip down the sources, it doesn't matter. Machinedramon, I'm gonna keep swinging at you anyways, I don't care. Omnimon can just get as big or bigger. Ganku, who's gonna wall up more? You know, that's not a boring ass matchup. Who walls up more, right? Type of thing.
Yeah.
And same with Jess. Jess will just fly through it. Royal Knights, I'm gonna just Omni X you eventually. And just so many other things. And, you know, Gallant, you know, Rocks, we'll get to those. They can just all get through no problem too, in my opinion. So it doesn't even matter. But, you know, you got those people that love the deck, right?
Right.
Here's another one. We got a new promo, Gigaseedramon.
Our boy, me and Dan are the biggest Gigaseedramon enjoyers.
I love this deck. I don't know if the deck can OTK people. Now we got this deck that we got this card in Betamon X that's cracked as AF. It gives the deck protection. It gives you know, so many good things for the deck that desperately needed, because sometimes you would do like 4 or 5 checks, you can't close game out, and then they go, haha, I deal with you. And then you go, ah, damn, I overflow, and then I lose because of that. Now you have protection. I'm gonna put this in a Rogue Pilot Dependent deck. This deck can just deal with anything, really, almost to an extent. It has Digivolve natively. You can get really wide. You can OTK people at 4 or 5 pretty easily if you go Omni X, or even if you go Arimon. You can still OTK people. It's very strong. I just don't think people will put in the work to try to test the deck out.
You better show me the deck list that gets it in Pilot Dependent, because for me it's the top of local legends.
Ooh,
but
damn, that hurts my soul. Even with the Beta X?
I love Gigasea. You know I do. But
even with the Beta X?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna throw it together tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow after work, I'll throw it together and I'll take it to our fun locals and we'll see.
Fine.
We'll see. I don't know, man.
Next deck.
I want it to be good as much as you do. I really do.
All right. When it comes to Nats, it's definitely probably local legends, right? We'll see.
It's a 13k blocker, Dan.
Pretty big and unkillable.
Pretty big.
Yeah, you know.
It's killable by battle. All right.
Fine.
Let's go.
But you had what are you talking about? You had the effects like Siegramon to give it unkillable by battle, you know? Next on the tier list, we got Savagamon. They got a new line kind of in the Muchumon and the Daramon. The Daramon is really good for the deck.
And that stuff is coming in 24, right?
Yes, that's BT24.
Yeah, so it got the promo from the Sakuya deck. It's getting some BT24 stuff. and then it will also get BT11 stuff, which I think is
EX11.
what we're waiting for, or EX11. Sorry, yeah, and I think that's what we're waiting for.
Yeah. I think even the Digimon is super cool. Being able to
Very
like,
cool.
I think it's a raise something, or you play something and you're raising or something like that. I forget what it is right now.
It affects the breeding
Muchimon
area in some way, and it's pretty good.
Yeah. Muchimon gives you another searcher, which is pretty good. I think it was right when you suspend it, you search. I think it is right.
Something like
that. And they got the new Kakatorimon, which honestly I don't remember right now. Still waiting room.
We're still waiting. We're still waiting.
Yeah. Next deck. Ooh, one of my all-time favorites. Purple
Hybrid.
Yes, this deck does that. Everybody wants to die, but it just never does. Hey, fun fact. In Latin America, it went all undefeated all the way to the finals. Undefeated day one Swiss. Undefeated in the finals. Lost to Jessamon in the finals.
That's pretty good though.
I think Purple Hybrid is meta defining, or at least the bottom meta defining, or top of meta contender.
I would say meta contender, because you have to remember, meta defining, we are defining as you need to build around these decks or be able to beat these decks. Sure. Whereas I don't think Purple Hybrid is that forward in the meta that you need to think about it that hard.
Sure.
But it's definitely a meta contender at the very least.
Yeah, deck is still cracked. Even with no meta in the game, it's adapted as times moved on. You've seen a variety of versions where you got like regular Purple Hybrid, where they added like the Demi-Devi or the Impons, where that like mills as well. You have the version with the Sound Birdmon that trashes options to gain more draw to get your pieces. It's really cool what it's kind of adapted. You have Superior mode. You have the Galamons to try to get rush for games and stuff and all that jazz. It's pretty cool stuff that you can do. Strong. It's still a strong deck. Next we got Barbamon.
That's that boy goes in the local legend. He's
yeah, I would put on the bottom waiting list.
Honestly, yeah. The problem is with waiting room, it gives the impression that we are waiting for something, and we have no idea when the next time we're getting Barbamon support is. This card is bad. This deck is bad. Honestly, no, I mean, it's probably good in Demon Lords, which I think we will talk about at some point.
I agree.
But that is just the one specific card. A Barbamon focus deck, ain't it, Chief? Next.
Yeah. Speaking of, we could talk about the rest of the 7 Demon Lord decks, which we got like 4 on here, which is surprising, right? Lucimon is really good. Local legend still.
Is it really still that bad?
No, it's really like rogue. It's really rogue pilot upon it. I'm just messing with it. So it has a good match against Hudimon. That's about it.
I mean,
this deck is all
being
about
good against the best deck in the game is pretty good.
This deck is the definition of skill gap. Like, you need to understand what you're playing against and what you're playing and how to play against it. With the so many effects of like, hey, your opponent gets to choose to either, you know, trash security or kill your Digimon, or if you don't, you recover stuff like that. If people don't know how to play against them, they could get GG'd pretty easily. You're a 10k blocker minimum, you're a 13k blocker, so that's why it's hard for Hudimon to deal with it.
Right.
You can, not that you can OTK out of the way, but you can win out of nowhere just because of that Paradise Lost, which is cool, I guess. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
I don't play against enough Lucimon, probably because the deck is so stupid expensive that I don't really have a very good impression of the deck in either direction. So I will take your word for it.
Cool thing about it is you're able to play Leviathan, and you're able to play Leviathan for free because of the Lucimon.
Right. Yeah, it's one of your biggest plays.
Yep. Other one we have is the last one, the 7th grade Demon Lord deck, is the actual 7th grade. Oh no, we got Beelzemon.
I said we got Beelzemon.
I forgot Beelzemon. Yo, there's so many 7th grade Demon Lords on this list. We got
there's 7 of them.
Almost all of them. The only one that's not on here is Lilithmon, I think, because Lilithmon's ass.
Oh, poor
Beelzemon.
Mommy. Poor Dami Mommy.
This is an interesting, divisive deck right now. This deck is strong as all hell.
For sure.
and it has a fantastic matchup against Digimon.
Sure does. And against rocks, which, spoiler, is going to be very high.
People are gonna run it still? That is the question.
I can think of one person who will.
I know one person will for sure. He's the only reason why I would put it at the bottom Meta Contender.
Realistically, though, it's a rogue deck.
I think it's a top tier rogue deck. It has to be pilot dependent because I don't think you can't be a bad pilot and play good with this deck, if that makes sense.
For sure.
In my opinion, like the reason why Burrito can do what he does with it because he nonstop grinds his deck out.
Yep.
And that's what it is.
That man mills his deck in his sleep.
Yeah,
you know how when you go to sleep, you can't sleep, you count sheep? He counts the cards that he mills.
Yo, facts, right? That's so funny. And the last one is the
all of them together.
Lords. Yeah. Another rogue pilot dependent deck.
I haven't seen this deck in a minute.
2 or 3 people. I know one person that's gonna probably be playing it, so
yep,
he is the world champ.
Yep.
A former world champ. Deck is still good. Barbamon helps a lot with the deck. The new Lucamon helps with the deck as well. Speeds it up kind of a bit in the sense of what you can do. You can do really cool things, right? And then obviously you can go Ugudu for game. This deck can be like Roy Knights, where you can be a tax deck, which helps.
It also got a couple new tools that if you haven't seen it in a while, you might be surprised at. Like Belpha X is very good for the deck, for example.
Ooh, fantastic. Fantastic. Yep.
So if you see this deck at top tables, well, if it's Pete, then you know. But if it's anybody else with it, you better be scared because they might dog walk you.
They've been labbing it for sure. And that's the last of the 7th grade Demon Lords. Unless you want to talk about my other one, because that's a Demon Lord. He is a Demon Lord. Mallow. Might as well just talk about it. Meta Contender. This deck is strong. You can loot people. This is a top 10 deck, whatever you want to call it. Being able to go 2 Tamers, and even with you with 5 security, I win. It really can do that sometimes.
With no interaction from your opponent at all.
Yep. And then your opponent be salty because they got to sit there and watch you loop. Or they scoop it up and decide that you got it and go to the next game. This deck is just cracked, being able to do what it does. It's still topping in Nats and JP right now and everything in QD format. And do your thing and you win.
The deck doesn't really care about the meta like 90% of the time. Like, yes, there are very few ways any deck interacts with this deck with the way it trashes security. So it's like, if I set up my 2 Tamers, I've probably won.
Yep, I agree. Yep, basically. There's things that can like slow it down. Medieval, obviously. Floodgates,
certain floodgates, Crimson Blaze. That kind of thing.
Yeah, Crimson Blaze. Yep, exactly. Crimson Blaze is better than a rookie floodgate, honestly, because I can pop a floodgate.
Right.
Crimson Blaze, you can't do anything about it, so it really depends on that situation. Pretty good deck. Sakuyamon. This is an interesting one. Where do you want to put it? Because I feel like I think we might differ on this one. Maybe.
My gut feeling is bottom of Meta Contender. I think a lot of people are going to be playing this deck, and it's a new version of what was already a very strong deck that had fallen off only because it got hit, not because it was bad. Like I think if people still played it, it would still be topping. And the new tools are very strong. Amethyst Mandala is an annoying card.
Card is stupid.
Yeah. Sakuyamon Ace is a great card. They can OTK you very fast out of nowhere if they want to play that game. Or I've also seen in Japan, they're still running all of the old cards. No, not that. But there is that. But in Japan, they just took out all of the new cards. They're still playing all the old ones, and then 4 copies of Cubimon. It's like, cool, now I just have a more consistent version of my old deck, basically. Like, and yeah, then there's also the red variant that's literally just playing draw cards and Crimson Blaze and stuff. And it's doing stuff. So I don't know. For me, I think it's bottom meta contender. What do you think?
That's what I was gonna put it. I thought you might have put it higher, honestly.
Okay.
That's why I thought we were gonna be different. But I guess we're on the same page. I think it's a meta contender deck. You're definitely gonna see it. I don't know. I don't think it's up here, but man, it feels potentially that strong as well.
Sometimes, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be definitely in the meta contender side for sure. You're gonna definitely see it. I think it would be definitely higher up, probably.
I would not be surprised to see
sure.
that at top tables.
Yeah, for sure. Next we got some other decks that we're gonna just do a quick off. Black Greymon. That is unfortunately
Locals legend.
My heart hurts by saying that. Unfortunately, right now it's local legend. It's just not fast enough for the game right now. I could say waiting room because that what's it called comes out. Yeah, new Agumon that's for dinos, but can work really well with Greymon.
Oh yeah. Give
him a raid and whatnot.
Hey, we got a new Greymon,
BT24,
Metal Greymon.
Yeah, BT24 gives us some new support, new life, I think. And adding raid finally to the deck prior to that Agumon, which I think is really good. But I still think it's just too slow still.
I agree.
All Greymon variants hurt just from Greymon X being at 1. And so just being that slow and as not as consistent hurts. Greymon OTK, if you want to talk about that real quick, Greymon OTK can just do whatever, whenever. You're just never going to ever see that deck be run because no one ever is going to try to play that consistently like that unless you are a Greymon enthusiast. And if you're not playing it, really.
Yep.
Anything you want to add to it?
Nope, I think you got it pretty much locked in.
APOC, another local legend.
Oh, my boy. I love this guy.
The reason why I put it up there, we got new support with the War Monzmon. I think the War Monzmon is fantastic for the deck. The problem is we need more of those type of War Monzmons to help speed up your process of getting the APOC popping off.
Yep, the deck's still just a little slow.
Yep. Agreed. Even if you run like decks or like medieval stuff like that, you're just still slow. Like the problem with playing those cards is you're not advancing your own game state. And that's what kind of hurts
you're taking
sometimes.
out the cards that feed into your game plan to try and
even then you're skipping your turn to play that and you're not doing what you need to do as well. So that's the kind of weird part. APOC has become this weird situation where what APOC was previously versus now they hard limited everything, and it's just so hard to play with like non Dark Master support. It's very weird.
Yeah, I love the new support though. I love the direction they took the deck.
So do I. Yep. Next is we got a a deck that we both don't like. I think I don't think you like playing against as well.
I don't like playing against. I don't like. I like playing against it when I'm playing Jessamon because it has a good matchup. My version of Jessamon has a good matchup in a Magnetic. I've not lost against Magnetic with Jessamon yet. Knock on wood. But obviously this is a meta-defining deck. It is very strong. I think it's I think it's better than Jessamon. I just think Jessamon matches up into it better, decently. The only problem is that it has a weird matchup into those other top tier decks. Oh, I'm gonna OTK Royal Knights. Oops, Omeka. Game's over. Hoodiemon is just gonna. Hoodiemon's probably gonna be faster than you. It's just a speed game in that matchup.
Sure is.
And better hope there's not a Comet Hammer in security. But man, the deck is so fast. It OTKs you from 4, and it does so very easily and very quickly. You should know what this deck does by now. It's funny because when it first came out, everyone was like, "Oh, this is good," but I don't think people realized just how good. And it still is. Like Magnetic is mean, and if you sit down across from it, you better know that they can kill you from 4. Don't let them put you to 4 if you can't either wall up or kill them before that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you didn't even mention it. They got a new support in Icemon.
Oh yeah, Icemon too.
It gives it bounce and Digivolve protection,
which is huge.
Like the deck needed that. Well, sure, whatever. Okay, Bandai.
I mean, what's OmniX doing now?
Give them Icemon. Take away the egg, please. Thank you. Hopefully,
yeah, right. I bet that's coming. Honestly,
it has to be. It's just no way it doesn't. This deck, I don't be surprised if this wins at all. Don't be surprised if you see it a lot. Don't be surprised if you see a top 16.
For sure.
Don't be surprised about not seeing this deck.
100%.
Outside of a few others, we got more like Rogue S style decks. Darkness Bagra, local legend.
You think so? I think it's Rogue. I think a good pilot can take it.
Really?
I do. I think a good pilot with this deck can mess some stuff up. I think is better than. I think is better than. Let me see. Demon Lords. I think it's better than Lusa.
Ooh,
I think it's maybe that's about as far as I'd go.
Okay.
But the deck is mean and the deck is fast, and I think a good pilot can take it a long way.
Okay.
That's my thought.
Kaguya, local legend.
No, waiting room. We got EX11 coming.
Sure. I forgot about that. Yeah. This deck is. It's a strong deck, don't get me wrong. It's just falling off to the wayside, it feels like, to everything else right now. And people understand how to play against it. And I think that's also one of the biggest issues.
And when you have Hoodie-mon in the meta, the DP neg just eats Kaguya and you're gone.
Oh yeah. Yep. Doesn't matter. Plus EX11, we get new Central and Kaguya support. As of today, we just saw a new
Kokeshi and Karaku.
There you go. Those puppets. So,
I got you.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Those puppets. So that's pretty good, I think. I don't know what happens when EX11 happens, but could be pretty good.
Yeah.
Let me talk about non-Gallon real quick. Digimon. This is a version of Gray Angels.
Same problem as Kaguya. DP neg on Hoodie-mon just completely melts your whole game plan. In Dominimon, I told Dan this before, and one of these podcasts, I think we're going to talk about the fall of ace cards in the Digimon card game. This deck is so reliant on ace cards that are just so easily removed now that, man, it's tough because Dominimon is not a deck that OTKs, and so you have to sit there on. I play a lot of Angels, okay, so that's why I talk about it. I love Dominimon. I think he's very cool Digimon, but I think the deck is very cool design. Having to leave him on a board with aces is so scary. Like, it feels in a way like worse Leopardmon, as strange as that sounds.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know anymore. It used to be one of those decks that was like a meta contender deck back in the day.
For sure.
Especially when it came out, and for a while, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just, again, another deck that's kind of fallen on the wayside. Still strong. You
the
have
engine
those
is
like
very
1 or 2
good.
pilots. You have one of those like couple people who are diehards for it, and they know how to pilot it really well into the game. I just see it as a local legend type of deck right now.
I think
somewhere on this vein of it. Leopard. The only reason why I have Leopard X on here is because people say they can use and abuse the new Digimon, especially. That will help them facilitate their gameplay faster and do things.
I think it's a local legend deck. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know that there are good pilots out there with the deck, and I know that they can do things with the deck, but the 1 or 2 very good players doesn't. Like, let me put it this way.
For everything. Yeah.
Let me put it this way.
Cliff, I did this for you. This is the reason why it's on here.
Let me put it this way, okay? There are more people playing Beelzemon, even though it's a rogue deck, because the deck is at that bigger power level. Whereas Leopardmon has its few stands, but fewer people are playing it because it's not at the power level something like Beelzemon is.
Agreed.
If that makes sense.
Yep. And we'll talk about it now and then speed run these promos basically. Gallimon, meta defining.
100%.
Gallimon won American Nats season 1.
Shout out to the boy.
Congrats to him. Yep, our boy. This deck is forever on top right now until something happens. Who knows? This deck is just strong. You have to pay attention to it. I don't know where on the top 5 it is for me, but it's definitely top 5. I would probably put it, if I had to pick, probably here-ish, somewhere around here, like somewhere, definitely, right?
Yeah, I'd put it at 2 or 3 probably.
Strong, right? You can OTK from the back, you can board control, and then OTK. You can do a lot of different things with it if you want. I've heard.
Did you say OTK from the back?
Yeah. You know, raise, you know.
Oh no.
You know, I mean, you can just chill and raise it, and then raise from the back, you know? That's what I mean. You can do that. You can just, you know, board control and then OTK. People are testing Styrakomon with the deck and stuff, so it's like almost like double layer protection on Gallon, which is strong if you do that.
Crazy.
It's pretty good. I don't think there's anything else you said. Oh yeah, also it's Growlmon X engine basically.
Right.
And we didn't put any of that on here, unfortunately. Next decks are gonna be irrelevant outside one of them, so we'll talk about the more irrelevant ones. Cross Hearts, Waiting Room. I think the promo is whatever, and people are trying to hype it up. I think it's trash though, regardless.
I think it's pretty good. And again, I'll say this every tier list that we do until it goes away. It has a very good matchup in a Royal Knights because it turns off Omega.
Yeah, sure, because you can rush into it too as well.
And it's a fast deck, so it just rushes down. It's a local Legends, at least for me. I would love to put it in Rogue Pilot, but I don't think I can reasonably do that.
Next one's Chaos. We got a new Chaosmon, so like you do shenanigans in Excel. Still here regardless. You're going to see Chaosmon more as a tech card
in Mastimon.
In other decks like Mastimon or even Sakuyamon, and then that's when you see the power of Chaosmon. But sure. Excel.deck, no, not really.
It ain't it.
Next one is
Wind Guardian Leviosa.
Wind Guardians. Rosemon is a cool promo. Deck's the last. EX12 Waiting Room. That's even farther back than the rest. And last but not least, Rogue. Not Rogue. Yo, I was thinking Rogue Galaxy. I immediately thought Rogue
Dan's
Galaxy.
Like, we're over 2 hours. I am just.
Yeah. Rogue Galaxy over here. Nah.
Yo, Rogue Galaxy, that is a great PlayStation 2 game. If you haven't played Rogue Galaxy, whew.
Bro, that is one of the greatest JRPGs ever, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Straight up. Honestly, turn off the podcast, go buy Rogue Galaxy on your PS4. You could buy it on PS4.
I was about to say you can buy it on PS4, yeah, and then you can still play on the PS5. Yeah,
I beat this like a year or two ago. Great freaking game, man.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah, I think Galaxy is as a Rogue.
Yeah, which is crazy to say because Galaxy is a bane of my existence. I hate this deck.
It's still I'm so glad very good.
The decks I like to play can deal with Galaxy shenanigans, but man, it's a very strong deck still. I don't know where on the tier list you want to put it, but like it's a strong deck still.
Koensaiyo, Leviamon, Davis and Ken, and
they just don't die.
Magnamon. They're all just like holding hands together in like we'll never go away land.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them together now because you mentioned that. Like these decks right here, they just don't die. They just like forever will stay around because one, you got fans that love their decks, and then two, they're just strong cards even back then and even till now. And so you can even put Pyojimon over here in Waiting Room because they're supposed to be getting new support. But deck is still doing things. Don't be surprised. This is a deck. Don't be surprised you see it top tables because it's Galaxy.
For sure.
Any other Galaxy nonsense talk or not?
I think it's good. I would, if more people were playing it, I'd put it at the bottom of meta contender, but people aren't playing it. I think it's still very strong. Whether you play Toolboxy or I'm just gonna Grace Nova you.
Yeah.
Or you can do. That reminds me, the Galaxy player I played against at locals on Tuesday. He did. He ended turn on Diana, swing, Sayo, go into Examon, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
You
Yeah.
can do that. I hate that. No, he went into Examon. Wait, it gets better. Went into Examon, did the checks, pinged me for 3. I'm at no security. Dianamon end of turn effect unsuspend. Apollomon Ace in the stack says may attack for game.
Oh, that's nasty. That's
like,
crazy.
Oh, I hate that.
The fact he got all that in one stack, that's crazy.
Yeah, because he just cycled one down. He had a Dianamon
Gotcha.
the previous turn, cycled it
Oh yeah,
down.
because then you just Evo,
and then you go Apollo Ace and then Exa.
Yeah, that's dumb as all hell.
Sure is.
Yeah, that's our tier list. One last note we're gonna talk about real quick. Gino, what do you think is gonna win that?
Me, Jessmon, let's go. I'm just kidding. I'm not 100% locked in on Jessmon. If I had to like actually take a guess, it would probably be cheating, but any of the 5 decks at the top. Like, I don't know, man. I hate this question.
So do I.
You know what? Lock it in. DigiGuard, Jessmon. Your turn.
Say no more. Say no more. What do I think is gonna win that? That's a tough one. If I say objectively or personally, I'm gonna say me. Non-objectively, because I think I will win it. Because that's my goal. That's anyone's goal. And if I'm picking me, I'm picking. Damn, I don't want to say what I'm playing. Digimon.
Hell yeah.
I think Digimon has a fantastic matchup to 4 out of 5 of meta defending decks up there. Outside of 1 card for Jessmon, I think it's even. Let's say you take out Crimson Blaze from Jessmon, I think it has a good matchup against it. In the sense of like it's 50-50. I don't think it's a bad matchup. There's only one that's really bad. He's the gotten it right. I hate him.
Yep. Yeah, that's nearly unwinnable. Like,
and
it's gonna be rough for you.
Yeah, it is what it is. But objectively, I think I'm gonna pick Jessmon too. All jokes aside, I feel like people are like realizing how strong Jessmon is and the potential it can do for them.
I hope so, man. I hope Jessmon, and I hope it's me. But
yep.
But man, I could see Gallant sweeping again. I could see Hoodie sweeping again.
100%. 100%.
You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say it's not gonna be Rocks or Royal Knights. Let's put it that way. I think it's gonna be one of those top 3. Rocks feels like to me one of those always a bridesmaid, never a bride decks. Like
yeah, for sure.
Like it always gets all the way through, but then like flubs at the end or something. I don't know.
Sure does. But yeah, that's our tier list. That's what we think is going to be Nat's tier list. And then for the rest of BT24, if you have any objections, if you like or dislike our tier list, let us know in the comment section. Especially if it's one of your favorite decks that we threw on the bottom. Yo, it is what it is. But let us know anyways.
By the time,
any parting...
yeah, I do have a parting word.
Yeah.
By the time this pod comes out, I think it will be right before Nats, like maybe a week or 2 before Nats.
Should be January 30th.
Okay.
Or the 6th.
Well, I'm just gonna say it now in case I don't get a chance to say it later, or if somehow this gets pushed back. Dan and I will both be at Nats, so come say hey to us.
Sure will be.
We'd love to meet you and say hello. But that's it. If you are going to Nats, best of luck to you, viewer. I hope to see you there at Top Tables.
Yeah. Let us know what you think you're bringing to Nats as well in the comments. If you already know what you're playing or thinking of playing, just, what you think about Nats as well,
Let us know.
With that being
Talk
said,
to us.
make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more podcasts from us. But right now, unfortunately, just podcasts. So hopefully moving forward, eventually after February, you get more stuff from us. But right now, just podcasts. And with that being said, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.
Moment time.